helps us all thrive. We ain't here to play no games. I just came to make a little change. Sick of the laws of corruption in our country. Yeah, it's a fucking shame. How the innocent hurts and the guilty get to laugh from the prison is a curse. We all wanna fix it, but we can't fix shit if you never hear what the hell we say first. Dedicated, never hesitate. Speak for many, no hesitation. Give a voice to so many people. If you hear the pain, you could never hate it. Rise above the silence, amplify the cries. For every tear that falls, word that echo that defies. Look, breaking silence loud and clear. Voices rise, the world will hear. We pray together every single stream, and I won't stop till I'm in your ear. Oh. Shadows, voices fade, but I make them heard every single day. I pray for change to the point that I think about coming with Rev Gang as a parade. That's what faces.
Boom! What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the stream, late night stream again. Because Sleepy Head over here sleeping around the clock, but it's all good. It is all good. What's going on, Leisure? Welcome to the stream, my friend. Shout out to everybody that is joining us. I'm sure you've already heard, already seen it, but it's crazy. We said, where the what? Man, that is the most cappish shit. Whoever told you that, they're lying. Picked up somebody's chick. I mean, that dude couldn't get that chick if life depended on it. But that's what people get for, thinking that somebody swooped in and stole somebody's chick. Like, I don't got to steal nobody's chick. I don't try to steal chicks. That's like the corniest shit I've ever heard. I mean, they should be searching for their child, not searching for pussy. Excuse my language, but on to the next one. What's going on, Angie? How are you doing? Shout out to Shars in the building, full deck. I see you. How are you doing tonight? See, I'm glad you guys are joining tonight. Pretty crazy news that came out here, I see. But this is wild, yo. Let's jump right into it. I want to see it because they're saying that she went on November 12th, that she went to, what was it, Mexico? So is that what Dad found out? I don't know what Dad found. He found out for him to take his own life, which is pretty insane. But let's hear this real quick, and then we'll jump into it.
Kobayashi.
30 seconds.
This shit's crazy.
Okay, he's just been given a 30-second cue by somebody, so we're going to wait for him for a couple of seconds. But it's really a lot of people concerned about it.
A lot of people concerned about this. Just today, we heard from Hannah Kobayashi's family. They announced that they were taking down the Facebook page that they had posted asking for help, looking for her. That was an announcement today. They said they had been receiving a lot of negative comments, so they removed that Facebook. Also,
what kind of negative comments? More like around, they must have been talking about like the shit with Dad taking his own life, which I've seen a lot of people speculate on it. But what really caused him to take his own life? Was it because he found this out? I feel like if he found out she was in Mexico alive, then he wouldn't do it. But then again, I don't know the mind frame that Dad was in. Nice to see you, full deck. Honeybee in the building. I'm trying to understand it. I really am. I'm trying to understand it. But what would make Dad take his life still? Did he hear this news about her going to Mexico on the 12th? Or was it not out yet? I'm curious about that. You said she's in a TJ? Frank says she's in a TJ. It's still odd about Dad ending his life. What did he know? You know what I'm saying? Like, what did he know? What's going on, Daniel? Shout out to you, my man. Appreciate you joining us tonight. Lotus says, hey, T-REV gang, I had a feeling you would be on late again. I was going to come back on earlier, but if you don't wake up, you can't come back on, right? Arlene, what's going on, my friend? Nice to see you. Shout out to everybody that's joining us tonight. I want to talk a little bit about this, and then I want to jump into, there's been some murders going on in Lake Birdie, which Courtney, shout out to Courtney, she was just telling me about it, and I looked it up. I was like, damn, they just found another body. So 10 plus bodies over there is pretty insane, which is, it's a whole nother topic that we'll jump into a little bit later in this stream. But shout out to everybody joining me here tonight. Make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you get involved. I'm kind of blown away that he was in Mexico the whole time, right? She went to Mexico on the 12th of November, is what I thought they said in this interview, but we're gonna hear this again.
You and I were talking about the fact that her father
Crazy.
took his own life.
Thank you, Gypsy.
Was it a week or two ago?
Thank you, Gypsy, for the 23 months. I appreciate your commitment here. You've been here for a long time. Thanks for all the modding that you do in chat, and just keeping the chat free from drama. Shout out to you, and thank you for that.
Good afternoon, and thank you for being here today with us. I'm joined here today by Assistant Chief Chow, Deputy Chief Alan Hamilton, and Lieutenant Oldfield from our Missing Persons Unit. I wanted to provide you an update on the ongoing search for 30-year-old Hannah Kobayashi, who was reported missing last month. As the family is aware, late yesterday, after traveling to the U.S.-Mexico border, we reviewed video surveillance from U.S. Customs and Border Protection, which clearly shows Kobayashi crossing the United States border on foot into Mexico. She was alone with her luggage and appeared unharmed. At this time, Kobayashi's case has been classified as a voluntary missing person.
And you can't really do much about that. If you have a passport, you went over there the correct way, you can't do anything about that. Does anybody think, and I want to know, I want to see within chat, does anybody think that she went to Mexico or was trafficked to Mexico? Because they're saying they don't see anything that is indicating that. You said, have we ever seen a parent kill themselves mid-search like this? What's the theory on that? That's a great question. I don't think we have, really. And if we did, I would need someone to remind me. I don't remember ever looking at a case like this where a parent does take their own life without knowing the truth. Dana says, I'm just now picking my son up from his school. They had a really far away game. Crazy. I'm glad you're on. I was almost falling asleep here just waiting. This made my night. Thank you, Dana. I appreciate you joining us as always.
I know over the last few days, there have been several questions raised surrounding her flight to New York. Our investigation, corroborated by video evidence, clearly shows Hannah at LAX appearing unharmed after arriving from Maui on November 8th of this year. For unknown reasons, she decided not to board her pre-scheduled flight to New York that same day. From November 8th to 11th, video footage and still imagery showed Hannah at various locations around Los Angeles. This information was subsequently verified by LAPD detectives. While she did check her bag through to New York, she requested her bag be sent to her at LAX, where we have surveillance footage of her retrieving it from the baggage carousel on November 11th. LAPD Missing Persons Unit has conducted extensive witness interviews, reviewed video surveillance, and collaborated with local and federal law enforcement agencies on this case. To date, the investigation has not uncovered any evidence that Kobayashi is being trafficked or is the victim of foul play. She is also not a suspect in any criminal activity. Additionally, the investigators noted that before departing Maui, Kobayashi expressed the desire to step away from modern connectivity. Our priority is ensuring Ms. Kobayashi's safety and well-being, and we urge Ms. Kobayashi to contact her family, law enforcement, or personnel at the U.S. Embassy to let us know that she is safe. She has a right to her privacy, and we respect her choices, but we also understand that the concern...
I'm gonna open the lines up after this because I'm, if any of y'all got something to say, I definitely want to hear it. This is, I wasn't expecting to get up tonight and see that they knew that she went to Mexico, and I don't know, maybe they talked to her, maybe they didn't.
Her loved ones feel for her. A simple message could reassure those who care about her.
Exactly.
While the LAPD investigation will not continue into Mexico, if anyone has credible information about Hannah's whereabouts, please contact local law enforcement. If Kobayashi returns to the United States, law enforcement will be notified. The missing person case will remain active in the missing and unidentified persons system until her safety is confirmed by law enforcement. Anyone with additional information regarding this case may contact the Los Angeles Police Department at 877-LAPD-24-7 or 877-527-3247. Anonymous tips can also be submitted to Los Angeles Regional Crime Stoppers at www.lacrimestoppers.org. Let me open it up now if you have any questions. If I cannot answer them, if the detail is such, I will.
Well, I'm pretty sure that in this interview, because I woke up and seen it because people were talking about it in Discord. I was waiting to see what you think, so I went, watched it, and I was like, they're saying there's no, no charges, no nothing that she's running from. So in general, like, she could only just be running from somebody as a person, right? Like a person was after her or something. But then again, that's another thought. What's going on, Sammy?
refer to one of my partners here.
Nice to see you.
Safe to say that no crime has been committed yet, no evidence of that.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Safe to say that no crime has been committed, there is no evidence of it.
At this point, we have not been able to determine any crime has been committed.
Yeah, no crime.
Given that there's no reason then for any law enforcement agency to detain or arrest her at all at this point.
That's correct.
Is there any indication from her family that there were arguments, disagreements, problems prior to her leaving Hawaii and during a period of a month where she's been sort of seen, not seen?
Yeah, I mean, it's no indication that there would be anything to cause this to happen in this fashion, for her to go off. But like any family situation, who knows what the dynamic.
Hold up, is this true, Nancy? I didn't see this anywhere, but if it is, I appreciate you, telling me about it. Can you send me like some type of corroboration? Do you see friends saying that on Facebook, or where did you see that at?
are.
How did you learn that she had a desire to disconnect from modern technology? How did you learn that piece of information?
Yeah, let me address that to Lieutenant Oldfield, if you would, Doug.
Crazy, Aaron.
Last name, please.
Douglas Oldfield, Douglas, last name Oldfield, Oldfield. I'm the officer in charge of the Special Enforcement Section out of Detective Support and Vice Division, which handles the missing person unit.
Good question.
Right. So for the question of whether she wanted to disconnect, by looking at her past social media, we then saw indications that there were some desires or posts that would be consistent in somebody who would have the desire to disconnect from their phone. I think it's not something that I have available right now. It's just that was part of the investigation. Are we 100% right on that? We can't say, right? That we just know that she did not have her phone after she left LAX, right? Around 1800 to 1900. We know she doesn't have her phone on her. For what reason? We can't say for sure.
How did she get from LA to the US Mexico border? Do you have any idea?
Yes. So she traveled through the MTA. She then made it to Union Station. At Union Station, she used her passport and cash to purchase a ticket to get to the border, and she then crossed the border.
Have you seen the video of the border? How would you
Yes.
describe or characterize how she appeared to be?
She appeared fine. She was with nobody else. I have nothing additional, but I have observed the video, yes.
I spoke with Hannah's sister earlier today. She says the family disagrees with law enforcement's assessment. What do you say to them?
Well, fantastic. Thank you.
Alan Hamilton, I'm the chief of detectives for the LAPD. We understand that there are concerns on behalf of family and friends. We've been very transparent with the family to this point. We have had daily communication and contact with family members, and we've given all the information that we can provide in terms of what our investigation has entailed, what the efforts have been on behalf of the LAPD and other partner law enforcement agencies. We've put a lot of resources into this investigation. So just to be clear to the public, the LAPD has taken this report seriously from the moment that we received it, and we have expended a lot of resources to include a trip this past weekend to the U.S.-Mexico border to collaborate.
That's what I was curious about. So you heard it from over there. Appreciate you sharing that with me because I did not hear that. So thank you. It's getting more bizarre to me, but she's also an adult and she could do whatever she wants. She can go wherever she wants. She doesn't have to answer to nobody. And if she committed no crime, then they have no reason to stop her. So it definitely is bizarre, though, for sure. And I'm just curious to why dad ended up taking his life. That right there is it's still weird to me.
With our partners there. So this is an investigation where we've done a lot of things face to face with our partners, and we've done we've gone to extraordinary measures in terms of our technological investigations in this case.
That's fair.
We've really left no stone unturned, and it's led us to this conclusion and the information that the chief is providing today.
Alan, I don't know whether you or the lieutenant wants to run, but is there anything in the information you gained from previous messages, things like that, which mentioned a name of a
Yeah, I
person,
am.
a group, or something?
Yeah, I'm disabled. I got something called obsession with true crime, and I was just diagnosed with it recently.
I have no sister in disconnecting
Don't
from
ask questions.
society. Is this an individual desire, or she
Welcome.
expressed some kind of a knowledge or an awareness of a certain type of pattern of social, organization she might want to join somewhere in Mexico?
Generalized individual desire. We have no information that she's working with anyone else.
You are fake news.
Cases recently, unfortunately, where women have decided to just,
Mm.
make a change or disappear on their own. Is any word you would say to someone thinking about this, or just encourage them, I guess?
Where's the proof of her crossing, though? I think that's a good point. Glow up. I seen you say there's no video of her crossing over. Is there? Where's it at? Show it.
You guys take all these cases so seriously. It requires a lot of manpower.
A tremendous amount of manpower. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of personnel involved in any major investigation like this, and in order to try and protect those that are in many cases very vulnerable.
Agreed.
My
I agree.
my ask would be to anybody considering doing this: think about the people that you're leaving behind, your loved ones who are going to be worried sick about you. The number of people, including law enforcement and other partners, who are going to be looking for you,
Right.
which then potentially takes them away from other work that is also critically important. So there's a lot other than somebody just deciding that they want to leave and disconnect. Consider those that are behind you and those that will be impacted by your actions.
Obviously, your heart goes out to the family.
Why
They're
me?
worried about
Absolutely.
And of course, we know that the father is gone as well. So
Right.
This is a family.
Do people feel that way? For real though, Thomas? Do people feel like she should be charged in some way for her dad committing suicide? Serious question. But I mean, again, we don't know the family dynamics. We don't know why she wanted to do this. I did see Nancy say something about the whole Trump thing and bringing that up. And I appreciate you bringing that to the forefront here, because I haven't heard that, right, at all. But in general, should she be responsible for that?
Faced a lot of tragedy.
Right.
What would you say to them?
I'm very sorry to the family for all that they've been through throughout this ordeal. We're very sorry for their loss. And I don't know that words can express, the feelings that they're going through during this very difficult time. But there's a lot of people very much in support of what they're going through.
In essence, Chief, this is back on the family at this point. They and the daughter basically have got to settle this between them.
Yeah, I mean, we've basically done everything we can do at this point. She's left the nation, left the country, and in another nation now. So, as I mentioned in the earlier comments, that if she comes back into the U.S., law enforcement will be notified of that, and try and do whatever we can if there's a need to at that time.
Mexican authorities, though, have a certain degree of latitude way beyond what.
It's completely her right to disappear if she wants to. She doesn't have to let anybody know anything. For instance, if I disappeared right now, I don't have a super close fan or super close relationship with my dad or mom. So imagine I pick up book and they're looking for me like this, got people all over the nation looking for me. It's my right to not want to talk to them. And people would go, what's the family dynamic? Like what is going on within their family? And some people just got beef with their family. I'm not saying that that's the case here, because they're saying it's uncharacteristic, etc. But we don't know what's going on behind the scenes with her and her family, whether they're beefing with each other or not. Sometimes, people can go wherever they want. If you're an adult, you could do what you want and go wherever you want.
Forces here in the United States might have you advised them of the situation, fill them in as much as you can. Might they decide to take action on their own, whatever that might decide to be?
Yeah, I haven't had any interaction. I don't know if no, nothing. No.
I agree. It's weird.
Oh, I can.
Yeah, please.
November 12th at 12:13 p.m. She walked through the tunnel that leads to Mexico.
And in San Diego there?
What's going on there?
Yeah, she walked through the San Ysidro port of entry, and she walked through the tunnel that leads to Mexico.
Video,
And that was at 12:13 on the 12th. 12:13 p.m.
12:13 p.m. on the 12th. She did that. Damn. And they just found out that she crossed. I mean, what tip did they get that she crossed?
What about the text messages that she sent to her family before everything went silent? It sounded as though she was in distress.
Yep, full
Can you
time,
speak to her
for
state
sure.
of mind and what indication that gave to you?
Yeah, we want me to address it.
Yeah, good.
So we can't speak to her state of mind. We are aware there have been some communications prior.
Right.
We are aware of that communication, and we cannot necessarily interpret. I think some of the communication can be interpreted a number of different ways. So at this time, we're not able to interpret those communications without having Hannah present to explain, how she felt when she sent them and what the specific meanings were for those messages.
I got you.
One more question. Hannah was seen with an unknown person at Metro Station
I can
near
address that,
Crypto.com Arena.
Yeah.
Any idea who that person was?
So the question was about the individual that she was identified traveling with on the Metro. We have identified that individual. That individual was cooperative in the investigation. That individual cooperated by allowing himself to be interviewed with his attorney present and family members. He gave a full disclosure of the entire sequence of events. We utilized independent investigative
I didn't
techniques
know she's
to
married.
verify his story, and it fully checked out.
I did not know she was married.
They met at LAX. All right. Thank you.
All right. The LAPD now giving information about the disappearance of Hannah Kobayashi. It was
I know, but what the hell took so long to get this out there? Like, I'm trying to understand like why it took so long to get out that she went to Mexico. She said, I live in Texas, which is part of Texas. Is that we're gonna dive into that because that shit's crazy. That was insane. I was just looking at the story that Courtney was telling me about. Like I said, they're finding bodies out there left and right. She left the nation. Good luck getting back in. That's going to change. He said maybe her dad was really worried sick and thought committing suicide was the only way. So sad. I don't know, y'all. This is crazy. I mean, if you want to call in, it's 219-885-9693. I'd like to hear your thoughts and where you're at when it comes to this case before we dive into the Birdie Lake shit, which is pretty crazy itself. He said, I agree. It's not her fault. Her dad chose to end his life. Damn, she's still a horrible person. I get both stances. I really do. But I just don't understand why he would take his own life with no confirmation of death. That's what makes me think what I'm about to say now. So with no confirmation of death, right? Dad takes his life. Was there a beef or something, an argument before she left, before she decided to take off? Was there some type of fight? Did they argue about something? Was it you're fucking dead to me, I'm gone? Or was there something like that? It just makes me think that there's more of an issue with him taking his life. Like, damn, she said she did exactly what she said she was going to do. I'm done. Was it something like that? If you get what I'm saying. That's the part. That's what I think about when I'm thinking about why he did it. And it is super sad. He just needed a friend or somebody to hold him up during this time. And you just never know how much somebody really needs someone until it's too late. I don't think they verified it until yesterday. Someone saw her. Now, that's probably why they were going to delete the page anyways. Yesterday is what I'm saying. Because they were talking or they took the page down, right? So they probably talked to the LAPD and they told them, hey, she crossed into Mexico. And they probably got upset about it. He says sad. It is sad for sure. Let me pull this up too. In a Kobayashi, Mexico. See what we can find here. Oh, this is the one you sent me. Okay, I see. Hold up. Potentially, police say family claims evidence shows otherwise. So it said, okay. So first of all, it started with them saying that she intentionally missed the flight. And now I'm seeing some people talk about she said she was leaving the state or the country being who the president was. Hannah Kobayashi leaves country. Damn, it's gonna be rough getting back in. Video shows her. So they're saying a video shows her crossing, but where's the video at? We don't see it. Voluntarily, okay. So November 12th. Why does it say 2023? It wasn't no damn 2023. Pull this one up too. I think this is the one you were talking about, Leisure. 1 second.
The private investigator who's not working the case, but he is a private investigator and he was out there also searching, said that, like, he implied that Hannah might be married to someone from Argentina. So I was wondering if she's going to go to South America.
That's another one.
Heading southward, right? Yeah, I'm not
Was
sure. Was
she married?
YouTube is doing a few things. It is doing a few things. I could see it.
The family sold their house October 28th in Hawaii.
Wait, I need to monitor this. Oh, no, man, we need to go to it now. Wait.
Is that the part you were talking about, Leisure? Was she was married, going to, let me see. She was married. No way, does she? Yeah, she does, but I don't care. Fuck it. It don't matter. Okay. Where's this Trump thing that who was this? Who was that? Who was saying that? I think it was Nancy. Nancy said something about
extensive witness interviews,
Trump or whatever.
reviewed video surveillance, and collaborated with local and federal.
Why do they do that? Why can't we go backwards? Stand by, please. I just want to see if I can go back a few seconds. None of them are wanting me to.
To date, the investigation has not uncovered any evidence that Kobayashi is being trapped.
What a weird live feed. Okay, Katie? Sorry, I'm going to keep playing it.
Katie, what's your thoughts? She left. She went to New Mexico, but actually Mexico. She crossed the border. She got up out of here. What's your thoughts on that? I mean, they can't do shit about it. They can't stop her from going there if she has all the correct documentation, etc. Nobody's going to be able to stop someone from going to Mexico. Just nobody would ever be able to stop any of you in case you're not allowed to, one, go there. Two, you don't have nothing to even get in, and still people get in regardless. Crazy. Yeah, shout out to Grizz. I've been finding. Hold up, Trish, what's going on? Welcome. You said she will be able to come back because she is a U.S. citizen. That's a fact. But we can't stop things from happening over there. And hold up 1 second. 601, what's going on? You're live. How you doing tonight?
Hey.
Yes.
Katie from Tennessee.
Yes, ma'am. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good. And you?
You know, hanging in there. Woke up, seen this, and was kind of blown away about, now just figuring out from the 12th that she went to Mexico. I wonder where that tip came in from and how they got that information.
So she is in Mexico?
Yeah, they're saying she crossed Mexico November 12th.
Oh, well. Then she really did want to be hidden, I guess.
And I mean, wow. A lot of people are saying she should be responsible for her dad's death, etc. And I'm just kind of blown away at the way it's ending. I still don't think this is the last we'll hear about this case, but again, it is pretty crazy that she left. She went there on November 12th, and it just came out. What's today? The 2nd or 3rd of December, and it just came out that she crossed to Mexico.
Oh, wow.
Crazy.
I wonder how crappy she feels.
She has to be seeing all this stuff. You would think, right?
I do feel for her too. Yeah, I feel like she would see it too. There has to be a reason she went there.
Right.
There had to be a reason for her to disappear.
This whole case is bizarre. What do you think it would be that would cause her to go to another country? Now, I've seen people saying that her friend said she left because of Trump became president, etc. I don't know how true it is, but
well, my thoughts on that is she could have told somebody. I mean, she could have let her family know that she was okay. That way her dad didn't do what he did.
facts.
If that's the case, then she's very wrong in what she did.
Yeah.
But she could have ran because she was abused in some way.
Right.
And was afraid to say something. She could have been abused. She could have been threatened.
Willow's Trials said in the comments, it takes a lot of strength and courage to pack up and leave. It's even harder if you're in any type of abusive relationship. If this is the case, then good for her. I can relate to that because I packed up and left where I was at back in the summer. So kudos if that's what it is.
Yeah.
For sure.
T, you're strong. You're a strong person. And you came out of somewhere bad. And I wish that I could be that strong, because you have come out the other side and you have made a big difference in the world.
No,
I wish I could make a difference.
You can. You can.
I don't know how.
Any day.
I don't know how.
Take control of your life. Take control of everything that you do. Don't let people dictate anything that you do. Take full control of it and do what you want to do. And don't say I can't do it, because if you say you can't do it, you're already letting yourself down. So, and that's what I encourage people who are maybe in a situation where they feel stuck, or maybe in a situation where they feel, oh, this is the end. It's never the end, because you control every single bit of your life, and it's the end if you make it the end. It's never the end. And that's what I try to tell people. Like, you got to take full control of your life, no matter what you go through. If, oh, well, I'm going to be in a shelter, or I'm going to be this. If you don't start moving forward, you're going to keep moving backwards. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
And that's really what it is. That's how I look at it, and always will look at it, because it used to be, oh, well, this and then that, and it just tons of excuses instead of just getting up and doing it. You know?
Right.
So
I feel for her in a way, because if like I said the other day, if her and her dad were close,
right,
then she's gonna feel horrible, because she could have let him know, or somebody in her immediate family know, that
right.
she was okay. So some of it could be her fault.
Supposedly she got rid of her phone, was what I was hearing. That's what I heard. Something like she got rid of her phone, or she didn't have her phone on her. I wonder if they seen her throw it away on video and maybe got the phone. I don't know, but either way, I don't know. It's crazy to me that the only answer that they got was she crossed over. But there's really nothing that anyone could do about it, because she's a grown woman and can leave. She's allowed to leave if she has the right documentation to leave.
Right.
So it's
and
just
then,
sad. It's
you
sad.
know, what if her dad didn't? I mean, I'm seeing a lot and read a lot. What if her dad didn't commit suicide? What if someone did murder him?
Already failed, yeah. Oh man.
But regardless, I'm sure she feels some sort of way. I would.
So a lot of narcissistic behavior. The family takes the Facebook group page down the last night, or today, the LAPD presser, all while the GoFundMe is still up. I really wonder how much of the fam knew and for how long? Huh.
Mm.
So what do you think comes from this situation at the end? I mean, today is looking like the end of it because she again did go into Mexico. They're saying voluntarily. They're saying that it didn't seem like she was being trafficked, or they didn't find any evidence of that. No evidence of anything criminal. So what does the family do from this point? Do they continue searching? Do they get a passport and go into Mexico and search for her? Or do they just wait for her to come back?
There's, with her being grown, I don't think there's much they can do except for let her go. And when she decides to come back, she'll come back if she does. But me being a family member, I would want to know why. So I would probably would take one or two people with me and go and just ask her why, and at least find out.
Is she document? I don't know if she had documented mental health, Robert Ramada. I don't know. That's a good question. Did you hear anything about mental health?
No.
With her?
I did
Yeah,
not.
me neither. I haven't heard anything like that. It's curious. This is crazy. I wasn't expecting to hear this, at least, but at least she's alive. I think that's what matters the most, is she's alive. And again, this happened on the 12th of November. So has she heard that her dad passed away? I would say maybe. It's a good chance.
Well, what if she didn't have her phone? Then how?
That's true. If she don't have phone, internet, etc. I wonder how she'd be surviving out there in Mexico. Who does she know in Mexico? And how easy is it to walk in Mexico and have some place to live? I mean, there's some dangerous folks on the other side of the border with the cartel, etc. So I don't know. It's super weird. I don't even know what to think of it anymore.
Me neither.
This is crazy, Katie.
No.
This is crazy.
Yeah, it is. It is.
The guy with
I
the
will
Venmo.
give somebody else a chance to call. And I love you, T. You stay strong.
Thank you.
And God bless.
God bless you too. And listen, you got control. Remember that, of everything. I don't know what's going on personally with you, like in your personal life, but remember that you always got control. And there's never, I'm stuck. So as soon as we say things like I'm stuck or I can't do this because of that, we're placing barriers in front of ourselves, and we're making ourselves not be able to move because in our head we're telling ourselves we're stuck. And as soon as you lift that cage off of you of I'm stuck, that's when things start to come together and you can push forward with the things that you want to do, rather than saying I can't do it because of this or I can't do it because of that. It's up to us to make it happen, and it'll stay the same exact way until we make it happen. So I don't know, again, what you're going through, but I'm praying for you. If you need, someone to talk to, text this number or whatever, give a call. I appreciate you, Katie. God bless you. Lock your doors, stay vigilant, and thank you for being a voice in the community. We appreciate you.
Thank you, T.
You're welcome, Katie. Shout out to Katie. I don't know. You said, I truly hope she is okay and comes home. It's just weird crossing to Mexico. Last night before, we were talking about cartels and shit, right? I don't know, man. It's weird with the dad's death. That just doesn't make any sense to me. Not one bit. She planned this trip to go to New York. No one was holding her back. She got on the plane. That's a fact. She got on the plane, ditched that flight, Eric, and went straight to Mexico. Obviously, she had some type of plan, because they're saying that she intentionally missed that flight. And now with them coming out with what they said tonight, makes perfect sense of why. She didn't want to be found, one, or two, she already planned to go to Mexico. So if you look at her notes, right, was she waiting on someone to respond back to her? Because go back and look at the notes. She had meeting with their aunt on there with a question mark. as in that was in question if she was even going there. You said it is to walk into Mexico. She will blend in. She looks like them. I'm sure she planned it and is with a man or a woman. That's a good point. At the end of this one, you said, hold up.
From modern
we just watched this, but you said at the end she talked about
and Hannah's mom and sister are not happy because this is it's
take it back. Hold
make
up.
it look like something to her family while she's actually got other plans. The way they were wording that at the end there, that individual that was with her, I was like, was that the ex-boyfriend? But no, they said somebody she met at LAX. Then again, that could still be the ex-boyfriend. He could have flown back and met her there that day. Who knows? But I think it's another male. It's just wow. I mean,
her phone got dumped.
I'm still worried about her. I hope she's okay. But of course, there's many missing people who need a lot of resources and help, right? I'm not saying she doesn't, but I'm just not sure what's going on. It seems voluntary. A lot of people were saying in chat before, from her social media posts and everything, that she was very upset with the
That's a fact.
Yeah. So we've seen a lot of there's an uptick a little bit. Let's please not get political.
Where's that at?
Since the election. Like I saw a case where a father, he killed his whole family and then himself because of the election. So like people,
that's
some
crazy,
people are,
man.
like Ellen DeGeneres left the country. Now
we're out here killing our own people because of an election. That's crazy to me. Really? Wow.
Our house is flooded. She's there in the UK, right? I'm just saying, like some people are doing extreme things based on how they feel about the election a little bit. So I'm just wondering because she shared quite a lot of those views and things on social media, if that really affected her. She's just like, I'm just gonna leave the country somehow, right? Wow, I don't know. It's very sad. Interrogation file says she needs to pay back everything that the government spent on searching for her. It's very, at this point, if she's aware of how many people are searching for her, how much distress she's caused to her family. I mean, her father took his own life, like it really would be important to tell somebody, I'm safe, I'm alive, I'm just not coming back. Just something like that would be great. Ooh, Bean says she's the scammer because it could be potentially very selfish right now, right? Like, oh my goodness, but I don't know. There's so many unknowns still, right? So I don't even know what to say. I'm a little shocked, especially walking on foot. And she left her phone. They say she doesn't have her phone. So obviously they didn't say they found her phone, but they say she doesn't have her phone. So that's interesting as well. And sorry, YouTube's doing some funny things. Okay, so refresh if you need to. I can just see YouTube is being a bit weird tonight. November 11th. See,
trying
she
to
kept
hear
going
about
back to the LAX ticketing agent. And my theory was that her bag went to New York and she kept going back asking for her bag to come back there. Because her bag wouldn't ordinarily come back to a layover spot. But maybe she specifically requested that. So maybe the bag did go to New York because that's what her family said. And maybe her bag came back and that's all she was waiting for. And when she got her bag, she was like out of there. Got on a Greyhound bus. She used the MTA. She went to Union Station. She used her passport and cash to buy a ticket to go to the border. And she crossed the border on November 12th at 12:13 p.m.
Okay.
So, wow. Nancy Drew said maybe the cash funds are being sent to her. I don't know. It's also interesting because her aunt, Lori, has been, kind of like the media face, right? She's dealt with a lot of the media and done all of that. And now she's no longer part of the Facebook group. And Hannah's mom and sister are not happy about it. I don't know what's going on there. So I feel terrible for the family. It's really.
I mean, there ain't really shit we can do about it. It's over with. It is fishy though. It is fishy for sure. No. That's hers. Somebody sent it to me to watch a certain part of it saying that she allegedly left the country because Trump became president. I mean, those are some things that I'm hearing that are floating around. I haven't heard it yet. I just heard her talk about somebody taking their whole family out because of that. But, that's crazy too. I don't get that. It really makes zero sense to me. Anita says, I kind of think she got another phone from somewhere. I don't know anyone who goes without a phone, even if they want to disappear. That's a fact. Tell me, that's a fact for sure. I was just thinking that. I'm like, damn, does she have a burner phone or a separate phone that maybe she bought from Walmart, straight talk, that, is not connected to her name? And she was just like, yep, let me go ahead and activate this. I don't know.
It's a family in great distress. There's a lot of loss. And I don't know what Hannah's up to, right? But she is 30 years old. And if she wants to leave, she can. It's just, oh dear. Wow. Carrie said she's alone, so she has ample opportunity to get help if she needs it. In my opinion, her family may have wanted more input in her life than she wanted. Someone in family was coercive. You never know. She was also apparently.
Nancy, what part was it on, by the way? I think you were the one who said it, right? Nancy said that allegedly some friends said that she left the country because of the election.
Are you guys still receiving my feed or what? I hope so, because YouTube is saying you're not.
Welcome,
so I hope
Guilty.
that you
Welcome.
can still see me and hear me.
Someone in her family.
There's rumor out there as well that she had a house for sale in Hawaii. There was like a $2.3 million house.
What's going on, Gumdrops?
That
Welcome.
was for sale in Hawaii, right? So
I don't know what to think
okay,
about
just hold on
this
one second. I just want to see something. Yeah. So there's theories that her aunt had left to go and live in an RV because her aunt Lori lives in an RV. She traveled all around America. That maybe it was her house, but Hannah had allegedly put this on the market. There's theories out there that the private investigator, not working the case, just a private investigator, has said that he thinks that she is legally married to an Argentinian man. So if she heads to Argentina, I won't be shocked. Go look there, right? I don't know.
Nobody would be able to stop her from that
At this
either.
point, we just don't know. It's this case will make your head spin, right? Kathleen said if she's been in Mexico with no phone since 11/12, she may be unaware of the search for her. That's true as well, because really she was reported missing on November 11th.
What's going on, Justine? Welcome. You said 1820. Okay,
imagine if
thank you. Thank you for the timestamp. That actually helps. So she said 1820. That's what I was looking for. My bad if I missed it the first time. 1820 is where she said that it was
social
brought up.
media
Let's
posts
check it
and
out.
everything, that she was very upset with the election. Yeah. So we've seen a lot of there's an up
Okay, I heard that.
that day. Who knows? But I think it's another male. It's just wow. I mean, I'm still worried about her. I hope she's okay. But of course, there's many missing people who need a lot of resources and help, right? I'm not saying she does.
She's not missing though. She's not missing. She voluntarily went to, Mexico. She had her passport. So in reality, there's not shit that anyone can do about it. Nobody can do anything about it. I couldn't do shit about it if Brian in here, my guy Brian in here, Honeybee said, "Hey, I'm going to Mexico and I'm moving with my family." That's their right. And if they're doing it legally, we can't do shit about it. No matter how many times the family goes on the news and says anything. If somebody's going to go and do it, they're an adult, they can go and do it, and we can't do shit about it.
But I'm just not sure what's going on. It seems voluntary. A lot of people were saying in chat before, from her social media posts and everything, that she was very upset with the election.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
That,
so we've seen
make that
a
make
lot
sense.
of there's an uptick a little bit. Let's please not get political, but since the election, like I saw a case where a father, he killed his whole family and then himself.
Okay, that's the part. I must have just missed that. Appreciate you, Nancy, for bringing that up. It's weird though. This shit is weird. What is this? One further point, Hannah Kobayashi was reported missing on November 11th. The case was assigned to detectives on the 13th. She was already in Mexico on the 12th before all the family search efforts began. She wasn't running from the search efforts. She was already gone. Yeah, she wasn't running from the search efforts. She was already gone. That's a good point. I hope everyone remembers that Hannah Kobayashi is no longer a missing person. She is not wanted, and no one should be seeking her out wherever she may be. Unless her status changes, she should not have to live in fear of being approached or pursued. Agreed. I agree. And if anyone were to approach her, I hope it would be mental health professionals or doctors who can open a line of communication in an appropriate and supportive way. If she is spotted in Mexico or elsewhere, please keep in mind that she is free to make her own choices, and she is likely in a fragile mental state, and it's important that we do not add to her stress and anxiety. If there is more to the story, okay, I see. I was just looking at some reports here. LAPD finally makes a statement. We've seen that. She is not wanted. That is true, though. She's not wanted. She shouldn't be, That's a fact. Total waste of resources that could have been used for other people. Agreed. I think I've seen more action in this case than we have in plenty of other cases. Missy Bevers. He said that was the worst place to go, Mexico. Agreed. What we go
Donald to update us on this discipline.
Okay, we've seen that already. You should be able to search their U.S. info. Appreciate you, my friend. Thank you, Lotus. Shout out to you. I don't know. I'm about to jump up to the next one. Hold up. Already, Austin. Let me pull this up real quick. Seems like there was another murder there today, huh? Or earlier. So what is that? Lake Birdie Lake Deaths family calls on city to do more as the death toll rises. Mysterious string of bodies discovered in body. This is kind of crazy though. I was just reading one earlier. Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up. I just don't know what to think about it, yo. Not anymore. I mean, she is free. She's an adult. She's free to go wherever she wants. And it's just as simple as that. Now, as you guys see in the title, that I was talking about a possible serial killer. And here they're saying Austin, Texas, there are renewed concerns after the body of a woman was found in Lady Bird Lake over the weekend. This is one of the at least 6 deaths in or near the lake so far this year. Very scary, especially given that I live in this neighborhood. This was somebody talking about it who lives near the lake. The woman's body was found Sunday, December 1st in the water near Brazos and East Cesar Chavez streets. A 911 call was received from a kayaker who was paddling upstream and observed some type of object in the water floating, said Officer Leah. Now, with the Austin Police Department, police say it appears that the woman was homeless in her 60s and may have been trying to keep warm. When she somehow ended up in the water, detectives do not suspect foul play. Let me pull this up 1 second, because this is crazy. 10 bodies. Like, pull this bad boy up real quick. Damn, there's been plenty of them. Bird Lake deaths. Okay. Put this here.
Welcome and thank you for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored. There is now a petition that is calling for an investigation into deaths at Lady Bird Lake in Austin, Texas, and it's now making national news. The petition cites that there have been at least 20 deaths at the lake, and the residents of Austin and family members of the deceased, they want answers.
And joining us on The Factor Uncensored tonight from Austin, we have with us Mark Gillespie with Gillespie Forensic Investigations, and he's the former director of Forensic Science Division at the...
So there's been a lot of bodies being found over here. They're thinking that it's a serial killer. I'm curious to what's going on here. I haven't seen much on it. You said, Trev, I was waiting for you all day. Please tell me it's a long one tonight. Yes, it's a long one tonight. We're just getting wrapped up. I just got up a little bit ago. So I wanted to talk about, again, the case within Hannah Kobayashi, which, if you're just coming in, again, there was a press conference. We played that at the beginning of this live. And now I do want to jump into this topic also, but if you have something you want to talk about, you can definitely call in at 219-885-9693 whenever you guys feel like it. I'm checking out I was just looking at some articles on the deaths around Lake Birdie, which is in, I believe, Texas, right? So they're saying that there is possibly a serial killer out here. I remember when JLR went out towards this location. I don't know exactly where it was in Texas, but I'm definitely going to be talking about that even more this week too, Nancy. So I'm not done. I have a thought on that with a video that I'm dropping, and I'll let that come out and you'll see what I'm talking about. But I kind of think that the FBI or somebody should peek at that one too, because I think they possibly already came across the killer. Thank you, Juanita. I appreciate the support to the channel as always. I love you, folks. Thank you. Appreciate that. Her mother still has a GoFundMe. Why? I don't know. Are they planning on going into Mexico? I mean, that would be the only reason, or maybe a funeral for dad. But again, I don't know. I have no idea what they're doing there. And I do think that's a little bit weird, being that they got some answers Do they have the direct location of where Hannah is? Absolutely not. But at least they know where she went, right? They know she went into Mexico and it's her freedom. You said we don't know any issues that she had. How many times have people said they just want to leave? I heard that today from someone who has, that they just want to leave, right? It's hard. You can't stop it. You can't. You said Austin has been downplaying all the deaths there. That's crazy. So the town, or not the town, but the city. Thank you for all you do for true crime. No doubt, Lindsay. Appreciate you being here, my friend. Yo, Trev, how you, bro? Hope you're well. I'm doing fine. Besides oversleeping, probably from these antibiotics. Knocking me out. I had a cold and they put me on antibiotics and I do feel better, but I think it's making me tired. Yeah, you can if you want. It don't matter to me. We could do either or. I want to check more into this Lady Bird Lake, these murders that are going on, these bodies that are being found. What is the cause of it? Who is doing this? Who's behind the deaths? There's a lot going on there.
The Austin Police Department. Glad to have you here on The Factor Uncensored. A lot of people have been disturbed about Lady Bird Lake in Austin. Many believe that there is some type of serial killer or something, something that's going wrong there. However, police have made it clear these have been accidents, drownings. So your thoughts, how did we get here?
Well, it's a very interesting.
We don't care about this. We want to watch this. Let's see something on this. Come on.
All of these are purposeful. Something is going on in Austin, Texas, and nobody's talking about it.
There's a mystery in Austin involving the deaths of at least 11 men and a lake, leading some to fear there's a serial killer walking among them.
Luckily for me, I think if I had hit the water, I may not have ended up surviving.
That man lived to tell his story and wants answers, along with countless families missing their loved ones. An Austin police homicide sergeant is here to answer my questions.
Just over the years, there's deaths that happen in and around the water. Sometimes they're shootings, sometimes they're drownings.
Thanks for joining me for Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. Since
this will kind of give us a break on the story, because I haven't heard much of it, right? Because Courtney was just telling me about this, and I do remember again when JLR went out there. I want to say it was like a year ago, right? And everybody was like, "Be careful! There's a serial killer out there." And then now to look a year later, there's been more stuff happening. So I kind of want to see what's going on and see if there's any families that we could help whatsoever, or try to, see what we can do.
2022, the bodies of 11 men and a woman have been found in Austin's Lady Bird Lake. The lake, named for former First Lady Lady Bird Johnson, is beautiful. It's a crown jewel of the Lone Star State's capital city. But the loved ones of many of the men whose bodies have been pulled from the lake feel the lake may be holding a secret. Even more bodies have been found in the lake over the years, including the body of Martin Gutierrez in 2018. Here's his brother, Mitch.
Martin, such a good kid. He was a little bit younger than me. He's like 6 years younger than me. Such a happy individual, very optimistic, painfully optimistic. He's such a great person. He went to Texas Tech, graduated, and he always used to come here to Austin all the time. And then when he graduated, he came and moved in with me. And so that's what ultimately brought him here to Austin. He was the baby of the
really
group.
Close. Sounds like you were really close.
Very, very much so. We went to the gym every day. Like, we did everything the same. We watched the same stupid movies all the time on repeat. Those kinds of things. So I miss him a lot.
Wow. And this is why I'm dating.
That's a moment that Mitch loves of his brother getting a little grossed out by seafood. Neither one of them liked it. Mitch and Martin lived together. He remembers vividly that day in 2018 when he realized that Martin was missing.
Him and I were a victim of routine. We went to the gym, like 6 days a week. So whenever I got off of work at 2:30, I'd come home, clean the house or whatever, and then he'd get off of work at 5, and then we'd go to the gym. Like, we had a set routine that we did all the time. And I texted him, I was like, "Hey man, where you at?" And he was very dependable. He never missed a day of work. He was, always there, very predictable. And he didn't answer. And then we called his work, and he didn't go to work, which was
getting broke
unheard
in
of.
this routine.
So we called around.
We're getting broke back in this routine where I'm live every day. The past few days, I don't know, been in and out, but I'm still here. Ain't going nowhere.
We called the buddies he was with the previous night, and they said that he had just left, and they didn't know where he was. And then so we called around, and I was like, well, maybe he's at his girlfriend's house. And and he wasn't there. So we knew something was immediately off within like an hour of not making it to the gym. I knew something was off. And then the next day I went to like local hospitals, like Seton facilities, St. David's, asking around if there were any John Does that were found or brought to their facilities or anything like that. And there was nothing.
Mitch Gutierrez filed a police report and started searching for Martin as any family member would do. He remembers what Martin's friends told him about the night that he vanished.
So it was a Sunday night. He went out to go meet up with some buddies that were just watching Sunday Night Football out there on Rainy Street. They went to one bar. They weren't there very long. Then went to another bar called Luster Pearl. From Luster Pearl, my brother was perfectly fine. And then he went to the bar next door called Alibi. By the time he made it to Alibi, he could barely even stand. He was slurring his speech. According to my friends, they were like, well, what's wrong with Martin? Like, it's not him. And I know my brother through and through. We'd go out all the time. We'd drink. And what I saw in that footage that the bar owner let us see, that wasn't him. I don't know what was going on, but from one moment he was okay, and then he wasn't. And so, unfortunately, with the bar, there's an inside area, and then you go to the back area where the bathrooms are, and then you can actually exit on the outside, which is what he did. So the buddies that he was with didn't even realize that he was gone.
Does this friggin' lake got a curse or something? Like they're dropping like flies over here. It's crazy. Crazy.
Oh, he went to the bathroom or whatever. And then they texted him after, like maybe 10, 15 minutes, like, hey, where you at? No response.
Mitch Gutierrez went to bars looking for surveillance video as he tried to find his brother. He doesn't have video from inside the bar, but he recorded video on his phone that showed Martin walking outside of the bar.
There he is, looking at his phone.
The video is the last time that Mitch would ever see Martin alive. So do you think somebody spiked his drink or something like that?
I do. The behavior I saw from a kid that I've known my entire life, and seeing that wasn't him. I don't know what it was. Now, I know they did a very generic talk screen. They don't look for like the date rape drug and all that, Rufalin and all this other stuff. Like they only look for like alcohol and, THC, cocaine, all those other ones, which everything was unremarkable because we don't do drugs. The only thing he had in his system was alcohol. But what I saw in his behavior, my brother was a very stocky guy. Like I said, we went to the gym all the time. And when he exited that bar, he was like frolicking. It was weird to see his behavior that way. It wasn't him at all.
Martin's body was found 7 days later in Lady Bird Lake. An autopsy revealed that Martin had drowned. The medical examiner labeled it an accident.
He had water in his lungs, but on the autopsy report, he had a large contusion on the back of his head, in the occipital region of his head. And I just find it hard to believe that, this kid was like the best swimmer in the world, but swimming aside, like it was like 20 degrees. There was no way he would ever hop in that water or whatever. They said it was an accidental drowning. There was no way. Like there's no logical sense for him to be.
Another Kylie Rodney, accidental drowning. My man's over here saying no way, no way. And they're just like, yeah, way. That shit don't make no sense either.
Anywhere near that water.
Mitch Gutierrez fears that someone harmed his brother, and he's not satisfied with the answers he was given about his brother's cause of death.
I'm in the medical field, not to say I'm an expert in autopsies and whatnot, but I'm an ICU nurse practitioner, and dead people don't bleed. So if you have a large contusion on the back of your head, that means you were bruising. That means you had to have time to bruise. Dead people don't bleed.
I got some shit.
And he had a contusion on the back of his head. They said, well, maybe he hit his head when he fell in the water. Well, if he fell, hit his head in the water, drowned, he would have never had a contusion on the back of his head.
I want to take just a moment to tell you about an amazing lip plumper and proud sponsor of Crime Fix.
Hey, Linda, we could definitely dive into talking about some of that too, because I've been seeing a lot in Chicago, and our country does absolutely shit about it whatsoever.
Called City Lip. It honestly has made my lips look 10 years younger. As someone who's always on camera,
Right.
City Lips has been a game changer. It's not like those painful lip plumpers that sting and burn.
Restrained.
City Lips gives you fuller, healthier, younger looking lips. I used it for 2 weeks, once in the morning and once code LAW15 for 15% off of your order. Since 2022, 12 bodies have been found in and along Lady Bird Lake. All were men with the exception of one. The lake is near the Rainy Street Entertainment District and 6th Street, which is lined with bars. Many of the families of the people who lost their lives don't feel like they have all of the answers about how their loved ones died and why. Most were ruled accidental drownings. The men who drowned had alcohol in their systems. The bodies found in Lady Bird Lake have sparked fears that a serial killer is on the loose, targeting men. Facebook groups have cropped up where people discuss theories and fears. The feared serial killer has been dubbed the Rainy Street Ripper. Do you understand the fear there or the concern?
Sure. I think it's grip the community. Just anytime that someone passes in or near a body of water and it seems like it could potentially be from a suspicious source, I can understand why people might be a little concerned, but hopefully it helps assure people that, like I said, we make sure that detectives look at every single part of this case that we possibly can. We want to make sure that this person wasn't hit over the head or wasn't, drugged in a bar and followed down to the water where they ended up falling in or were attacked or assaulted or anything like that. So we try to rule out as much as we possibly can. Obviously we all would wish that there was video all over the place to see exactly what happened as things unfolded, but we're left with the evidence at the end of the day, and we have to piece together all the actual physical evidence that we have, and that is, were there any signs of trauma? Were there any signs of foul play? Like, do we believe a weapon was used? Did the body have any defects, like stab wounds or bullet holes or anything like that? And then just reviewing that toxicology as well to see if there's any commonalities between any of the cases.
Austin Police Sergeant Nathan Sexton says he's certain the deaths are not the work of a serial killer. How can the Austin Police Department be so certain that there's nothing suspicious surrounding the deaths of the people who've ended up in Lady Bird Lake?
Sounds
so just over
like a damn serial killer or something to me. Like, why do they? I mean, do we got 10 to 12 Riley strains?
For the years, there's deaths that happen in and around the water. Sometimes they're shootings, sometimes they're drownings, sometimes there's other deaths, and they all kind of get lumped in together a lot of the time. But I think the concern for most people are the folks pulled from the water that appear to have drowned. So in all these cases, we'll send an actual homicide detective to the scene to assess the situation, to assess the scene.
I'm seeing here 7 hours ago, they're saying another body was found in there. Huh. Hold up. I'm going to play this. They're saying another body 7 hours ago.
Very scary, especially given that I live in this neighborhood.
Concern among people who hang out near Lady Bird Lake Monday after the body of a woman was found Sunday morning in the water near Brazos and Cesar Chavez.
A 911 call was received from a kayaker who is paddling upstream and observed some type of object in the water.
Police say it appears the woman was homeless in her 60s and may have been trying to keep warm when she somehow ended up in the water. Detectives do not suspect foul play.
There's nothing that appears to be suspicious. There's no type of connection.
So this lake must have a curse or something. They're saying it doesn't seem suspicious, this death.
To follow up later on with the medical examiner and to check on toxicology, which could take 3 months to come back. So all of that is looked at in its totality to make sure, was there any trauma to this person's body? Do we think that they were drugged? Was there any signs of foul play?
And have there been signs of foul play with any of these victims? I read a story that said that one victim may have been shot while driving and then ended up in the water.
That was an actual murder, yes. So there was a victim that was driving along a road and was just happened to be hit by gunfire and crashed off of through a little cement barrier and ended up in the water. So that's what I was saying. Some of these kind of get lumped in as all kind of being the same MO when that gentleman just happened to be driving along and was hit by gunfire that was involved by other parties that were arguing with each other. So he was unfortunately kind of collateral damage in a shooting that was happening around him.
Sergeant Sexton says the deaths that have been labeled drownings were sad, unfortunate accidents, but that doesn't mean that people believe that. There are fears that someone may be spiking drinks for nefarious purposes, but why?
And I was found at about 4:30 in the morning at the bottom of a ravine. Actually was right next to a river that would lead to Lady Bird Lake.
Jeff Jones was in Austin for a bachelor party in June of 2023 when someone found him in a creek under a bridge. Did you physically end up in the water and somebody found you? I mean, do you know what happened to you from what you've been told, or?
Yes, it's mainly from what I've been told through the reports. My sister came down and was there the whole time, as well as a few other of my relatives, and they were taking notes and kind of trying to explain to me what was going on. But that is an odd twist to it as well. I was found right next to the creek where another individual a few years back also was found there. Unfortunately, he had passed away.
So they're talking about the Lady Bird Lake area in Austin, Texas, has been the focus of speculation due to multiple deaths and bodies found near or in the lake. While law enforcement has not confirmed the presence of a serial killer, public interest and theories have grown over the years due to the certain patterns in the proximity of these incidents to Rainy Street, a bustling nightlife area. Now they're saying the victims and investigations. Over the years, several individuals have been found in Lady Bird Lake. In many cases, the deaths have been ruled accidental drownings, often involving intoxication. Okay. And then it says some notable cases. Martin Gutierrez, I believe his name is, ruled as an accidental drowning. Then you have Jason John in 2023, found near East Avenue, while his death, with his death being ruled as an accidental drowning also. Then you got Jonathan Honey, which is in 2023, along with Jason John. His death was also determined to be an accidental drowning after being found near Rainy Street. Then we have Riyad Hamad, a controversial case involving a human rights activist whose death, though initially appearing suspicious, was ruled suicide. So there's 4 frequent ones right there that are talked about a lot. Huh.
But that leads right to Lady Bird Lake, and
2 bodies in 2024.
I was found at about 4:30 in the morning after disappearing from the group at around 1. So it is a strange amount of time that I had, and then it was just kind of an innocent bystander who had found me and reported it anonymously. So it would be interesting to find out a little bit more about that person. I always thought it was kind of odd that why did they see me at the bottom of a creek and bed, in the middle of the night randomly? I had no idea what had happened because my recollection faded away while we were still at dinner. So to me, I woke up about a week and a half into it. They took me out of, they had me in an induced coma. And I had no idea where I was or what had happened. And I had, a bunch.
These people getting spiked at a certain bar. Like, what's going on? I'm confused.
Just staples all over my body. And it was quite a harrowing experience, I would say, at that point. It took me a few days to really even understand what was going on. Then they also had done a toxicology screen, and they did find Rufalin in my system. And there was no other substances outside of that.
Jones shared the drug screen results with me. It shows a presumptive positive result for benzodiazepines, a drug the DEA says can produce sedation and hypnosis. These drugs are used to treat seizures, anxiety, and muscle spasms.
There's no way to really know because I don't have, unfortunately, any memory of the actual event. But yeah, somebody had drugged me and either tried to rob me or maybe it was part of whatever this murdering situation is. We're not really sure, but obviously something had happened. And it seemed odd too that a few of the other guys in our group also had gone home with, abnormally high levels of confusion and more than just typical intoxication.
Jeff Jones never filed a police report. But interestingly enough, after Jones spoke with me and we put in a records request for the run related to his fall from the bridge on 6th Street, Austin police wrote a report on May 16th of this year. The officer documented what he saw when he responded to the 911 call. The report says the complainant stated he was suddenly awoken by a loud crash and observed that a male had fallen off the south side of the bridge. It goes on to say the incident appeared accidental in nature. Therefore, we titled the incident Assist EMS. The rest of the report is heavily redacted with portions blacked out. It categorized the incident as a, quote, fall. An Austin police detective told me they had the report written to document the incident since Jones started speaking about it publicly, so they felt it should be documented. I've requested an unredacted copy of the report along with the 911 call at the time of this recording. That second request has not yet been fulfilled, but stay tuned. Do you guys have any reason to believe there was anything suspicious surrounding the incident involving Jeff Jones?
No. And I from what I had heard, he just had no recollection of the events of that night. But the officers that had responded out there found him at the bottom of to find him on the ground. So again, without like video or anything definitive to show that there was any foul play, everything pointed to the fact that he had just fallen.
The fact that Jeff Jones ended up in the hospital still shocks him a year later. He still has a lot of questions and doesn't know who may have placed something in his drink.
It was definitely quite a revelation. I mean, I had never really contemplated my own mortality at all in my mid-30s, so it's not even something you think about, really. We had actually heard about it when we were going down. There was about 6 or 7 of us on a flight down from Boston together on Thursday, and we had heard of the disappearances of people, and we were kind of joking with one another, oh, watch out for the serial killer in Austin. And, to wake up and then realize that, it could have actually been a target of somebody in that exact situation we were laughing about was definitely a shock. I'd heard about it, but I obviously did a lot more research afterwards, started realizing that I fit the profile of, a 20 or 30 something male who've been disappearing at an increasing rate over the past few years in Austin. So
these people, are these I'm just curious. Are these gay men? No offense to nothing, but I'm just saying, are they targeting a certain type of demographic? Are they meeting up with somebody? Is there somebody? Are they all going to the same location and this is happening? I'm curious about that.
It's yeah, it's really unfortunate, and I don't know that I believe that it's really a serial killer, but I do think that the drug is that, you know, these drugs that can knock you out are very prevalent and easily available for people down there. And if you want to take advantage of someone, it's a great way to do it. That you completely incapacitate someone within an hour or so. So I think that may be the real issue, is just that drug is kind of running rampant around major cities.
Drugging of drinks has been a problem in major cities for years. In response to concerns over drugging drinks in Austin, the city has launched the Sip Safely program. They did that in April. The city's website includes advice like never leave your drink unattended, watch your drink being poured, be cautious about taking a drink from someone you don't know, and use a drink cover and watch for others in your party. One Austin City Council member pushed for the program, citing what's been going on at the bars in Austin for years.
We have seen instances where there was a KXAN article in 2019 where physicians have noted an increase of ER patients coming in from downtown bars who display unusual non-alcoholic related symptoms. When asked if the cause was from druggings, the physicians have often said, yes, I think it's definitely possible.
Say it again.
The city also stationed EMTs along Rainey Street as part of a pilot program. An Austin Travis County spokesperson told me that EMTs had actually stopped several people leaving bars from wandering toward the water. Now the city is looking at whether that program should be implemented full time, but it all comes down to money and the city budget. Despite the pilot programs designed to keep people safe, so many questions remain about how and why these men have ended up in the water.
We can't explain why it seems to be mostly men, but I can say that from the Austin homicide unit that we look into every possible aspect that we can in all these cases, and nothing has led us to believe that there is any sort of killer, or especially serial killer, at play here.
Meanwhile, Jeff Jones still has questions about what's going on in the bar district in Austin and what happened to him.
Yeah, I think it's something that really needs to be addressed at this point. I mean, with the fact that you have this many people disappearing in your city, whether it's a serial killer or not, I feel like that's not good for tourism. And you would think that they would want to eradicate that issue sooner than later. It's crazy. But yeah, hopefully, you know, me having these conversations can get some awareness and at least help people be a little more safe when they're down there, and in a few other cities around the country which seem to have kind of similar issues going on.
Thankfully, Jones lived to tell his story, although he has some lingering effects from falling 24 feet off that bridge.
Damn.
I'm still on some pain meds. I luckily have gotten off of most of them. It was pretty intense at first, but I do have two very large rods in my back connecting, well, actually 4 rods in 2 places in my back connecting the spinal cord, the areas that were damaged, and those are actually supposed to come out this summer. Shockingly enough, they aren't permanent. But I still can function fairly normally with it. It is a little painful sometimes, certain activities, but really I'm pretty lucky. And I also did have a puncture wound. A branch went through my elbow, my left elbow, and I've lost some range of motion there as well, which I'm in physical therapy for. But yeah, overall, you know, it hasn't negatively affected my life, which is really lucky.
But no one has more questions than the loved ones of the families whose brothers and sons are never coming home. Mitch Gutierrez feels like he still doesn't know what happened to his brother Martin.
That kid was the salt of the earth, and he deserved better. He is not a person that should have been pushed aside. He's a better person than that. He deserved better. And all those other people that died too deserve better than that. And the city didn't do. They didn't do anything. They just said it was accidental. It's not fair. He's too good of a person. All these people were too good to just be thrown to the side. And nothing's been done. In the city needs to do something. And they need to do it faster because people will continue to go missing.
Will these families ever?
Damn. I'd like to talk to him just to see what he knows that's being held, you know, being withheld from public. He said, of course, they're not going to say it's a serial killer. Shit, that dude wants to know what happened and need to make that aware ASAP.
Find out what happened to their loved ones? Were they all drugged, or were some intoxicated and sadly just ended up walking into the lake? They may never get the answers they need or want, but they say they'll continue to push for answers. So what do you say to the public out there who's got this legitimate concern about people ending up in the water?
I think whenever people are out, especially in the bar districts, hopefully people keep an eye on their friends. I think a lot of people end up becoming incredibly intoxicated, which often leads to some people ending up in the water. And I can't speak to exactly how folks end up in the water, right? Every case is completely different. Some of the folks who are homeless sleep by the water and may use that as a bathroom. So there's all different circumstances in all of these different cases. But I hope it helps make people feel a little bit better that through our homicide unit, we look at every possible thing that we can in trying to rule out any sort of foul play. And there's just no signs that or any evidence leading to any kind of conclusion that anyone is being killed other than the ones that we've already classified as homicides.
Sergeant Sexton says there have been cases investigated by the robbery division where people have actually drugged bar patrons to rob them. This woman was named a suspect in incidents going back to 2022. But Sexton says these are separate cases from the drownings. What? On July 5th, a man's body was found on a trail off of Lady Bird Lake, raising fears about a possible killer on the loose.
This call for service was responded to in a timely manner. Call text advised the complainant located a white male with apparent life-threatening injuries to his body. The Austin Fire Department, Austin Travis County EMS, and the Austin Police Department arrived on scene, and unfortunately, the victim was pronounced deceased at approximately 5:45 p.m. This is not being investigated as a homicide at this time, and all investigative steps being taken are routine measures. At this time, this is being considered an isolated incident, and there's no known threat to the general public.
Sadly, Austin police say that man died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. He was not the victim of a homicide. And that's it for this episode of Crime Fix. We'll continue to follow this. A Florida man is behind bars, accused of murder.
All of these.
Oops.
Welcome and thank you for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored.
I don't know. This don't even make sense. It's like, where do you even start, right? Where do you start with something like that? Well, here's another one. Let's check this.
The Rainy Street Ripper, a name that's been coined for a possible serial killer in Texas, but is this real? Multiple deaths in Austin, Texas, near a popular nighttime hotspot of Rainy Street, have caused people to believe that a murderer is on the loose. But is the Ripper responsible? Does the Rainy Street Ripper even exist? Police say no. Others disagree. We're going to talk with former FBI and CIA agent Tracy Walder, who's been following this case since the first body turned up in 2022.
What do you guys say? Serial killer? Or just a coincidence that people keep dropping like flies in this river?
Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber.
I don't know what to think about it.
So for the last 2 years, dead bodies have been found on a mile-long stretch of the Colorado River between the Lamar Boulevard Bridge and Lady Bird Lake out in Austin, Texas. It's about a half-hour's walk from the Rainy Street neighborhood, and that is a trendy night spot with pubs, restaurants, food trucks, the place where the Rainy Street Ripper got his name, or her name. We're going to get to that in a second, because the latest body was found just a week ago, as Austin police had reported.
On July 5th at approximately 5:30 p.m., officers responded to the Waller Beach at Town Lake Metro Park, located near Rainy Street and Cumming Street, in reference to a check welfare urgent call for service, which is a high priority call for service that requires immediate police response. This call for service was responded to in a timely manner. Call text advised the complainant located a white male with apparent life-threatening injuries to his body. The Austin Fire Department, Austin Travis County EMS, and the Austin Police Department arrived on scene, and unfortunately, the victim was pronounced deceased at approximately 5:45 p.m.
Now, this man is still unidentified, and there were news reports that once he was removed, there were, quote, thick pools of blood between the path and the water's edge. And what kind of injuries could have caused that much bleeding?
They're just some type of blunt force trauma to the body. I don't really have any specific injuries.
Now, Officer Zarling also played down the idea that this death had any connection to the Rainy Street Ripper or any other kind of killer.
This is not being investigated as a homicide at this time, and all investigative steps being taken are routine measures. At this time, this is being considered an isolated incident, and there's no known threat to the general public. I spoke to homicide detectives, and there's no serial killer at this time. At least we don't believe there is one.
However, while police initially reported the cause of death to be blunt force trauma, 2 days later, they changed that to a self-inflicted gunshot wound, and therefore it will not be treated as a homicide. So what about the persistent claims that the Rainy Street Ripper stalks the area, a killer largely targeting gay men who frequent the Rainy Street nightlife? That has been one of the allegations. Terrified residents, they've set up Facebook groups. One has more than 90,000 followers to voice their growing fears that the deaths may in fact be connected. Then there was this report that in April, a bartender on the entertainment strip claimed a patron told him he was the Rainy Street Ripper and that he was attacking men in the nearby waterway. Posting on Reddit, the bartender recalled that the man suddenly started talking about killing, and there's a derogatory word that he uses for gay men, from Lady Bird Lake that he found from Rainey Street. He was clearly angry and was saying in a low voice, but I know what I heard. And he described the client as a white man in his 40s, about 5'10" tall, with a muscular build, brownish light hair. That same month, a man named Jeff Jones reported he was attacked by this ripper, but lived to tell the tale. He said he'd been drugged, then plummeted 25 feet off a bridge, narrowly avoiding being drowned.
Story we were just
Woke up in
listening
the
to.
hospital more than 2 weeks later after doctors had implanted metal rods to hold his back together. And Jeff said that whoever they may be just missed the target and I hit the ground. And luckily, because of that, I didn't drown. I just got lucky. Not many people can say they potentially survived a serial killer. So that's a story I can tell, I guess. But let's actually take a closer look at the people who weren't as lucky. The bodies of 11 men and 2 women have been found in the last 2 years. And here's what we know about their deaths. So it seems the first was back in July of 2022. 59-year-old Ricky Parks, and then in December of that year, 25-year-old Christopher Gutierrez. The Austin Police Department found no foul play in either death. The investigations have been closed. In December of 2022 also, 45-year-old Josu Moreno's body was found. He was the first victim whose death was actually ruled a homicide. Moreno was shot in his car while driving his vehicle.
So you guys think this is a serial killer? I don't know. This is weird. Definitely somebody doing some shit for sure, which would make him a serial killer. I wonder who this 40-year-old is that they were talking about.
Was plunged into the Lady Bird Lake. There was an arrest for his murder, though. Joel Santiago Gonzalez Padron. Hey there, everybody. This episode of Sidebar is sponsored by Truthfinder, and it makes sense since we cover a lot of stories where we have to ask ourselves, how well do we really know the people in our lives? So scary to think about. Well, Truthfinder is a service that can maybe provide you some answers because it's one of the largest public records search services for background reports at truthfinder.com/LC
Truthfinder.
Now, later that month, 56-year-old Kyle Thornton was found dead. The Austin PD determined there was no foul play. Investigation was closed there. 2023, 5 bodies were pulled out of the lake, starting with 30-year-old Jason John in February. His death was ruled an accidental drowning, and so was the death of 33-year-old Jonathan Honey 2 months later. Both men were last seen separately on Rainey Street before their disappearances. Jason was walking home. His family seems to believe there's more to the story of his death, though, because Elsie John, Jason's mom, said Jason was 30. Jonathan Honey was 33. 2 in the morning, Rainey Street. So there were some similarities in the case. And she fears that more men may end up dead. We don't know how many Jasons and how many Jonathans are going to be losing their lives again. And this is not acceptable. Elsie John said that the family is going through such unimaginable sorrow and despair over the past few weeks that they do not want another family to face the heartbreaking pain that they've experienced when they were searching for their son. And she asked police to make all the necessary actions to protect the life of the people of Austin near and at Lady Bird Lake. Then we have 40-year-old Clifton Axtell, was found in Lady Bird Lake around the same time as Jason and Jonathan after he went missing near a downtown bar. He was a married father of 2. His cause of death was ruled undetermined. 2 weeks later, 30-year-old Christopher Hayes Clark's death was said to have had no foul play or suspicious circumstances. His death and those of 3 additional people, including 2 women, were not investigated as homicides. There was an unidentified woman, age unknown. Then we have Maga Dogal, discovered in June 2023, age also unknown. And then the unidentified man found most recently on July 5th. The autopsies on the people who died this year were not available, but police say their bodies showed no signs of trauma. The latest, as we said, appeared to have been from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Now, I should tell you that police investigations here, they have consistently found that most of the deaths are accidental and that they share a combination of alcohol and easy access points to Lady Bird Lake. Austin Parks and Rec have installed better lighting along with fences and warning signs near the lake. So far, there's no surveillance.
Exactly what I was
that out. But now to sum it up, Austin Police Department Assistant Chief Jeff Greenwald said, there are a lot of allegations that there's a serial killer, but there's no proof or evidence in any of our investigations to sustain that. And police say that while each incident occurred at the lake, the circumstances, exact locations, and demographics surrounding these cases vary. Some of the cases remain under investigation. Well, now I want to turn to Tracy Walder, former FBI agent, CIA officer, national security contributor at News Nation, and author of The Unexpected Spy. Tracy, so good to have you. And I will tell you, I didn't know that you have been following this for years.
Yes, well, thank you so much for having me, Jesse. In a way, I feel like I'm kind of banging my head against a wall with this. I have been making TikToks and Instagrams and going on News Nation to talk about this for about 2 years now. It's something, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I tend to sometimes be overly logical.
No, this is this is like a predatory pattern or something. It just, I mean, okay, once, twice, but now it's just happening over and over and over and over and over again. I mean, I don't know what the physical environment is like around there or near this lake, but then we have, again, what's going on? What are these folks who are going to these certain places down here, what kind of behavior, you know, are they bi, gay, not gay? It just sounds like someone's targeting. I don't know.
But it's more than just Austin. I mean, we have the same situation going on in Chicago. In the Chicago River, 16 bodies have been found since 2022. In Austin, 13 have been found since 2022. And the consistency, I think, with which we're seeing this, in my opinion, doesn't seem accidental and doesn't seem random. And that's why I wish that we were looking into this more and maybe there was more interagency communication.
Let's explore that a little bit. And yes, I will couple that and say, I have been on with Tracy so many times. You are one of the most logical, rational, reasonable people. You do not jump to conclusions. So for you to say something seems off here when we have 13 bodies, now someone could look at this and say, wait a minute, these could all be accidents. These could all be people getting drunk and it's a, nightlife area. Do you suspect that there is a serial killer here, or do you suspect that their deaths might just be more than what they're initially determined to be?
That's a great question. And I'm going to give somewhat of a confusing answer, if that's okay. I think it's a combination of both. I do think that some of these are truly accidental. This is an area that's right near University of Texas at Austin. It is an area, right, where people are over-consuming alcohol, and it wasn't heavily fenced prior to all of this. And there were, as you mentioned before, very easy access points. However, I think some of these deaths, particularly the ones that had been labeled undetermined, and then the fact that the police went from blunt force trauma to oops, gunshot wound to the head so quickly within a matter of hours, that lends itself, in my opinion, to the idea that there may be someone out there doing this purposely. And I want to take it one step further and say that this may be going on in other states as well. And I think that is the concern that I have. When we see an uptick of bodies being found in Austin, we see a downtick of bodies in Chicago. And then when we see an uptick of bodies in Chicago, there's a downtick of bodies in Austin. It's very strange.
What do you mean by that? Because again, somebody could say, look, this is an area, like there's a lot of areas across the country where
that's
it might be an area where people.
So they're getting these bodies in Chicago. They go down whenever shit's going on in Chicago. And then same when someone's in Austin. I wonder who that someone is.
They commit a crime. This is where they dump evidence. This is where they dump bodies. This could be an area where it's frequented. But what do you mean by the connection between Chicago and Austin and when that death rate? Walk us through exactly what you're talking about.
You good?
Right. So as I mentioned, I've been following this for a couple of years. And so I just started basically doing my own research, to be honest with you. And it really started out with something called the smiley face killer up in New York. And the problem with that is that they were saying, oh, the person had to leave a smiley face in graffiti. And I think that just happened to be random graffiti at the site of crime. And I think a lot of these got kind of dismissed, is that they weren't all connected because they didn't have a smiley face. And I think that was—
I would literally do that. Go down there, go downtown. As long as I had someone out there that, I trust and mess with, which I got a few people out, not in Austin though. I'd have to have somebody out there. Imagine going out every night, seeing if, people are spiking drinks, shit like that.
Misidentified at the beginning. But what I'm seeing is you'll see a cluster of 2 to 3 bodies being pulled out in pretty quick succession within the span of, I'd say, a week or two of the Chicago River, and then nothing for a few months in Austin. And then in Austin, you will see the reverse happening. So this cluster of bodies kind of showing up 2, 3, and then nothing in Chicago for a while. And so it makes me wonder, is this the same person going back and forth? Is this some kind of a trucker route?
Steven, she went to, so Hannah, she went to Mexico on I believe it was November 12th. She crossed over into Mexico. They just put that information out today. I don't know how long they knew that, but it does make it's weird to me still, because the father committed suicide. So with father committing suicide, no confirmation of death. Did he hear this about Mexico and gave up? I don't know. But yes, she was found crossing the border on camera, but we ain't seen it. People are saying that. I don't believe it until I see it. I gotta see it, then I'll believe it.
Right. That's where I start to wonder, are these the same person? Are these different people?
But how difficult would it be for one person to keep on doing this?
I mean, in my opinion, not very. We have seen serial killers crossing state lines multiple times, particularly ones that have jobs that are transient in nature, right?
I'll do it.
We have seen that has been documented. One of my FBI colleagues just wrote a book actually on that as well. And so I don't want to say it's easy. Of course, it's not easy, any stretch. But part of me does wonder if maybe we're seeing something even more unusual, and that it's a group, right, who's doing this in different cities. That's highly unusual. We've never seen something like that before. But in this day and age of social media and secure channels, it wouldn't surprise me if someone did something like that.
Are you also looking at the victimology? You're looking at similarities between the victims. What do you make of that?
Yeah, so the similarities, in my opinion, just from the research I've done, there seems to be a bigger age span in Austin than there is in Chicago, in terms of just age, right? We're looking at in some cases it's like a 20-year age gap, but the reality is most of them are, I'd say, kind of upper middle class males. Yes, we have some females that are mixed into there. I don't think sexuality plays a role because they have been all different sexualities that I have seen. There are some that have been straight, some that have been gay, all, kind of all across the board. So I'm not sure that plays a role in the victimology, but all of them also seem to be educated as well. And
Ooh, that is a good theory. I got to give it to you. I was like, hold up, what good theory? A truck driver? Very possible. I bet you there's plenty of routes between Chicago and Texas.
probably had money to spend, quite frankly, at these bars.
And what about the Austin PD's response? They're basically denying that there's a serial killer, insisting that there were other causes for the deaths. They closed a lot of these investigations on several of these cases. Could it be that's just what it is? There's nothing more to report here? Or is it the counter, in your experience? They do not want to frighten the public because they may have more information at this point and don't want to alarm everybody that someone could be out there.
I understand the idea behind not informing the public immediately, right? If you don't want to scare them, I've done that myself and holding on to information at the FBI, not releasing it. However, in my opinion, there's a fine line between not scaring the public, but also ensuring public safety, which is their job as well. And so I think if they're holding on to that information, which I'm not too sure that they are, part of me just wonders if this is because they haven't been talking to other police departments. Also, the fact that the autopsy reports are not readily available, a lot of times you can get your hands on those, piques my interest, is interesting to me. And some of these have been ruled as undetermined. And I think that's interesting as well, because most of these bodies were not in the water for that long. I think we know that, unfortunately, when bodies are in water for a very long period of
They visit when Riley came down, the same person from Chicago. I'm just
time, obviously, that can degrade evidence and then lead to not knowing a cause of death. But most of these bodies were not in the water for, weeks and months.
Why would they be determined to be undetermined?
If again, water from a
life.
forensic perspective is the worst in terms of evidence preservation. It's really difficult to preserve forensic evidence. And so if it was a case of strangulation and a body decomposed and a hyoid bone wasn't broken, I'm not sure that you would know that that was their cause of death. Also, maybe they couldn't get a true toxicology panel, right, on someone to decide whether or not maybe they had alcohol poisoning. And so I think those could be some of those things that sort of lead to undetermined, that they're not going to cause, they're not going to call it a natural death, but they're not going to call it a homicide yet.
You mentioned that law enforcement should be looking at outside agencies for assistance here.
Honestly, it would be pretty cool, and something that, obviously I would like to do. For instance, a trip like this, say, damn, I'm going down to Austin. I just want to go into the town and, talk to a few people who've lost somebody there, see what their thoughts are, and then go around at night, just documenting shit. That actually would be dope.
Here, what would happen if they got the FBI involved? What assistance, what tools?
See what the town's talking about.
So the FBI has to be invited. That's just typically how it works. In any kind of state or local case, they have to be invited. Austin PD is a large and robust police department, so they definitely have a lot of resources, right? This is not a city that is small by any stretch. However, I believe that the FBI, from a digital forensic perspective, might be quicker in terms of the help that they can give them, because I think all of us, including these victims, probably left a very heavy digital trail in terms of what their last movements were before their bodies went into the water. Not to mention any of these bars. I know that there's no surveillance cameras yet in these particular areas, but a lot of these bars have cameras. There's, traffic cameras, those kinds of things. And the FBI has more manpower to just go through that more quickly.
I guess here's an interesting point. Awesome. If you're talking about a general location, right, and you are a serial killer, wouldn't you're almost kind of, and look, I could also say this about the Gilgo Beach, the suspected Gilgo Beach serial killer, and I don't mean to be crass about this, but wouldn't you want to diversify where you commit your crimes or where you dispose of your bodies? I mean, I would imagine now that they know this area, wouldn't there be more patrols? Wouldn't there be more surveillance? Wouldn't there be a way to see, well, if there really is somebody doing this, we know where they're going?
I don't think that that's a cross question. I think that makes a lot of sense. But like you mentioned, in the alleged Gilgo Beach killer, he was dumping them for the most part in the same area around the beach. And sometimes it does boil down to where serial killers are comfortable and where they have this hunting ground, I guess, if you will. And the reality is yes, they have installed fencing, but they have not installed surveillance cameras. thoroughly along that route yet. And this person may know that. And that's why they may feel comfortable and that they're not going to be caught there. And again, you have to remember, this is a highly trafficked bar area. And so I think there might be a sense of ego and that they know they're not going to get caught because there's so many people around.
What are the next steps you're
I
looking
mean, this kind of reminds me of what the hell is this dude's name? He's been giving up people that he killed for years and years and years now just to get pizza and donuts from the officers by telling them, hey, I killed this person, I killed this person. And he strangled over 100 people. He admitted to it. In fact, I just seen a special on it on People magazine, I believe. Like, it was on ID. And literally the dude's toying with investigators. He's like, every year he'll admit to 2 or 3 more murders that he committed, and all of them died by strangling. So it's maybe you heard of it, maybe you haven't. Sounds like the same pattern here.
Patterns, maybe not just in that area, but across the country.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's kind of my point and my research into all of this is there have been these clusters that have occurred. And my hope is that these law enforcement agencies are talking to each other. But my concern is that when you have APD, I guess, dismissing it so quickly, and maybe they aren't in private, maybe they are in public, but maybe they aren't in private, but dismissing it so quickly as not being a serial killer.
You're
and
hired.
I worry that they're not reaching out to Chicago PD to say, hey, what are some trends that you're seeing? Let's see if they match up to some of ours, and doing that work. But again, I don't know what's going on behind closed doors, right? And so I don't know if APD is doing that.
Do you think it's complicated by the fact that it has been amplified by certain online content creators? I mean, we didn't come out today and say there's a serial killer on the loose. We're trying to understand what is exactly happening, but certain people have already come up with theories and speculation. I imagine that's something that complicates not only law enforcement's investigation, but their response to it as well.
I think it absolutely complicates things in general. I think social media, I mean, we saw this in the Idaho case, right? Really complicates things, right? It falsely accuses people. I mean, it puts people down the wrong path in terms of evidence. I have to be honest, even I get flack sometimes for talking about this case on social media because people, are like, oh, you've been reading the commentaries for too long. I have to be honest with you, I don't read any of them. This is just based on my own research that I have done myself. And so I think it then stigmatizes other people.
He said thumbs up isn't working. That's weird. It should be.
Like myself from looking into things like this and recognizing these patterns. And so I do think sometimes this online, I guess, chatter, it really complicates things for law enforcement.
And that's my next point. So Austin police, they're asking anybody with information about these cases to contact the homicide tip line at 512-477-3588 or Austin Police Department Crime Stoppers at 512-472-8477. How do they sort through legitimate tips, and how do they sort through what could be, it could be anything from false information to pranks to just, people that call for whatever reason. I mean, how do they sort through how they find legitimate information? Because obviously a lot of people are talking about this.
I totally agree with you. And that's when it can actually become cumbersome and you are not finding perpetrators in an expeditious manner, right? Because you have to run down all of these leads. You have to vet all of these tips. You do. Someone has to do that. So that means you're running a background check on the phone number. You're running a background check on the person, right? To assess their validity in their claims. That takes time, and that takes people away from being in the field and maybe solving this case. But again, some great information in terms of case solving comes in through these. So it does take a lot of manpower. And that's why sometimes the FBI is brought in to help manage some of these tips and free up those people to be able to go out in the field.
Well, look, I'll tell you this much. It's very eerie.
We'll call it Operation Find the Serial Killer in Austin. Live stream it.
It's weird. I'll tell you that much. Our hearts go out to the victims' family members. It's really tragic. And the fact that we just have another body in that area, that is why the conversation.
Hannah Kobayashi update. If you just came in, back on Hannah, which we could, if you want to go back over, I could show you, or I could just tell you, either or.
Is going to continue one way or another. Tracy,
I got you right after this.
Thank you so much for coming on. And everybody out there, stop giving Tracy a hard time. Stop writing bad comments about Tracy. But Tracy, you did the right thing. Don't read the comments. You never should read the comments.
Thanks, Jesse.
I got you. Don't worry.
All right, everybody. That's all we have for you right now here on Sidebar. Thank you so
much. Okay, that was about that case. I'll pull this back up so you can see. Why'd they put May? She didn't May. That's a fact. They said that she did 100%.
We begin with this breaking news. Hannah Kobayashi, who vanished from LAX
There you
last
go.
month, has been
I got
spotted
it.
on camera crossing the border into Mexico. Her disappearance, which sparked an intense search effort, now appears to have been intentional as she deliberately missed her connecting flight to New York. Fox 11's Laura Diaz live in downtown with the very latest. Laura?
Yes, Marla, that news conference ended just minutes ago. And as you were just pointing out, the police chief himself led that news conference. And he said perhaps the most important thing was that Kobayashi is safe and there was no evidence of foul play as she entered into Mexico.
The investigation has not uncovered any evidence that Kobayashi is being trafficked or is the victim of foul play. She is also not a suspect in any criminal activity. Additionally, the investigators noted that before departing Maui, Kobayashi expressed the desire to step away from modern connectivity.
Now, the disappearance of Hannah, of course.
Now, there's also rumors that she left the country because of Trump becoming president and several other things, but I don't know. Pretty insane. T-REV, UC. Good night, Diane. Appreciate you, my friend. Good gracious, I'm freezing right now. It's cold as hell. I'm about to turn the heat on. Shout out to you, though. Good night, Diane. I don't know, man. It's weird. Simone Brad, you as well. All along Interstate I-65. I don't know what to think about this. First of all, the Austin Lake Birdie. It's like, if are the police investigating something? What could they do? What could they put it undercover out there? Right? Could they put it undercover out here that are these guys going to a certain location? Are they meeting up with somebody? Is there a significant connection between their social medias and somebody that they're talking to that they're possibly meeting at these locations? I mean, it's really hard to go off anything without much information being divulged to the public, which is why I said it would kind of be important to talk to, one of the gentleman that was up here wanting justice for his brother, someone like that who's willing to divulge a little bit of information. So we, how he died. Did he meet up with someone that night? Is there any significant connection when it comes to that? You said, so case closed or what? Yeah, case closed. She's not really missing. Case closed on Hannah. Yep, case closed. There's really nothing more you could do about it besides when it comes out that there was a family reunion or whatever, if she comes back from Mexico. So I don't know. That shit.
Force has riveted the country. The 30-year-old went missing November 8th after catching a flight to LAX from Hawaii. She was supposed to fly to New York to visit relatives there, but she never made that connecting flight. Then her relatives in Hawaii said that they received a number of text messages from her that were very concerning, that acted as though she was in harm's way and potentially even had someone with her that could potentially harm her. But this evening here at LAPD headquarters, the authorities here said that simply was not true, that they had questioned the person who was with her and that they had certainly ruled out that she was in harm's way.
That's another. So the unidentified person has now been identified, and they question him. They talk to him. Allegedly, he came with a lawyer. I'm pretty sure that's what they said. They said he or she, whoever it was, came with their lawyer and answered all the questions. Pretty weird that you're coming with a lawyer. They're not. Are they trying to pin a murder on you? What's going on?
Called this a family matter at this point. There is no active investigation. They say that she is in Mexico. She's a 30-year-old woman. She has the right to travel there and stay there. So at this point, there is no further investigation. And even though it has riveted the country, and it certainly has this case of who possibly had done this and what had happened to this young woman, for now, that's where it sits. Now, earlier today, I did speak to the sister of Hannah. She told me that the family did not accept the decision or the assessment that was made by the LAPD. She did not elaborate. I hope to be able to speak to her further. I'm Laura Diaz reporting live from LAPD headquarters in downtown Los Angeles.
Let's see if we can find anything on this. I'm still intrigued by why is the family, the family's a little upset there. They're claiming it's, you know, I don't know. I'd like to hear from them just to hear what they got to say, because hold on, let me see. What is this right here? Law enforcement. We seen that. Let me bring this back up real quick for the folks who did just roll in. You just came in late. Hold up 1 second. I got you. It was this.
Good afternoon, and thank you for being here today with us. I'm joined here today by Assistant Chief Chow, Deputy Chief Alan Hamilton, and Lieutenant Oldfield from our Missing Persons Unit.
You can't hear
I wanted
this,
to
dude.
provide you an update on the ongoing search for 30-year-old Hannah Kobayashi, who was reported missing last month. As the family is aware, late yesterday, after traveling to the U.S.-Mexico border, we reviewed video surveillance from U.S.
I want to
Customs
hear
and
from
Border
the family.
Protection, which clearly shows Kobayashi crossing the United States border on foot into Mexico. She was alone with her luggage and appeared unharmed. At this time, Kobayashi's case has been classified as a voluntary missing person. I know over the last few days, there have been several questions raised surrounding her flight to New York. Our investigation, corroborated by video evidence, clearly shows Hannah at LAX appearing unharmed after arriving from Maui on November 8th of this year. For unknown reasons, she decided not to board her pre-scheduled flight to New York that same day. From November 8th to 11th, video footage and still imagery showed Hannah at various locations around Los Angeles. This information was subsequently verified by LAPD detectives. While she did check her bag through to New York, she requested her bag be sent to her at LAX, where we have surveillance footage.
Man, screw that one. The audio on that sucks bad. Hold up. It's for the folks rolling in. I got you. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything too. Boy, it is cold as hell. Get that heat rolling. Here it was right here. This was the better one. Way better audio. Good gracious.
This disappearance of Hannah Kobayashi.
30 seconds, Jim? Sure, whatever you want.
Okay, he's just been given a 30-second cue by somebody, so we're going to wait for him for a couple of seconds.
We're talking about the fact that her father
On the ongoing search for 30-year-old Hannah Kobayashi, Persons Unit. I wanted to provide you an update on the ongoing search for 30-year-old Hannah Kobayashi, who was reported missing last month. As the family is aware, late yesterday, after traveling to the U.S.-Mexico border, we reviewed video surveillance from U.S. Customs and Border Protection, which clearly shows Kobayashi crossing the United States border on foot into Mexico. She was alone with her luggage and appeared unharmed. At this time, Kobayashi's case has been classified as a voluntary missing person. I know over the last few days, there have been several questions raised surrounding her flight to New York. Our investigation, corroborated by video evidence, clearly shows Hannah at LAX appearing unharmed after arriving from Maui on November 8th of this year. For unknown reasons, she decided not to board her pre-scheduled flight to New York that same day. From November 8th to 11th, video footage and still imagery showed Hannah at various locations around Los Angeles. This information was subsequently verified by LAPD detectives. While she did check her bag through to New York, she requested her bag be sent to her at LAX, where we have surveillance footage of her retrieving it from the baggage carousel on November 11th. LAPD Missing Persons Unit has conducted extensive witness interviews, reviewed video surveillance, and collaborated with local and federal law enforcement agencies on this case. To date, the investigation has not uncovered any evidence that Kobayashi is being trafficked or is the victim of foul play. She is also not a suspect in any criminal activity. Additionally, the investigators noted that before departing Maui, Kobayashi expressed the desire to step away from modern connectivity. Our priority is ensuring Ms. Kobayashi's safety and well-being, and we urge Ms. Kobayashi to contact her family, law enforcement, or personnel at the U.S. Embassy to let us know that she is safe. She has a right to her privacy, and we respect her choices, but we also understand that the concern her loved ones feel for her. A simple message could reassure those who care about her. While the LAPD investigation will not continue into Mexico, if anyone has credible information about Hannah's whereabouts, please contact local law enforcement. If Kobayashi returns to the United States, law enforcement will be notified. The missing person case will remain active in the missing and unidentified persons system until her safety.
I'm curious. I want to know more about why the family is not accepting her or accepting what the LAPD is saying. I don't know, because I do know in my head what I'm thinking. Now, my breakdown of this whole entire thing is the police found out where she went. The family came out. They took it as a missing persons case. It's been a missing persons case for this long. And then they find out or get a tip somehow that she went to Mexico or something brought them to the border. Either way, They went to the border. They were able to see a video that shows her crossing over. There's no crime. She's not wanted. There's no nothing. So they could not stop her from going there. I mean, it's weird, but I'd like to hear what the family has to say, because they're saying they're not taking or accepting what law enforcement is saying here. And I just don't, I mean, what can you say to somebody who wants to disappear? You can't make the police stop that person, right? Like,
he is confirmed by law enforcement. Anyone with additional information regarding this case may contact the Los Angeles Police Department at 877-LAPD-24/7 or 877-527-3247. Anonymous tips can also be submitted to Los Angeles Regional Crime Stoppers at www.lacrimestoppers.org. Let me open it up now if you have any questions. If I cannot answer them, if the detail is such, I will refer it to one of my partners here. I'm sorry, say that again.
Safe to say that no crime has been committed. There is no evidence of it.
At this point, we have not been able to determine any crime has been committed.
Chief, given that there's no reason then for any law enforcement agency to detain or arrest her at all at this point.
That's correct.
Is there any indication from the family that there were arguments, disagreements, problems prior to her leaving Hawaii and during the period of the month where she's been sort of seen, not seen?
Yeah, I mean, it's no indication that there would be anything to cause this to happen in this fashion, for her to go off. But like any family situation, you know, who knows what the dynamics are.
How did you learn that she had a desire to disconnect from modern technology? How did you learn that piece of information?
Yeah, let me address that to Lieutenant Oldfield, if you would. Doug.
I'll see your first and last name, please.
Douglas Oldfield, Douglas, last name Oldfield, Oldfield. I'm the officer in charge of the Special Enforcement Section out of Detective Support and Vice Division, which handles the missing person unit. Right. So for the question of whether she wanted to disconnect, by looking at her past social media, we then saw indications that there were some desires or posts that would be consistent in somebody who would have the desire to disconnect from their phone. I think it's not something that that I have available right now. It's just that was part of the investigation. Are we 100% right on that? We can't say, right? We just know that she did not have her phone after she left LAX, right? Around 1800 to 1900. We know she doesn't have her phone on her. For what reason? We can't say for sure. Yes.
You have phone away.
So she
like
traveled
that.
through the MTA. She then made it to Union Station. At Union Station, she used her passport and cash to purchase a ticket to get to the border, and she then crossed the border.
Have you seen the video?
Back.
How would you
Yes.
describe or characterize how she appeared?
She appeared fine. She was with nobody else. I have nothing additional, but I have observed the video, yes.
I spoke with Hannah's sister earlier today. She says the family disagrees with law enforcement's assessment. What do you say to them?
Well, fantastic. Thank you.
He said, hold on.
Alan Hamilton, I'm the chief of detectives for the LAPD. We understand that there are concerns on behalf of family and friends. We've been very transparent with the family to this point. We have had daily communication and contact with family members, and we've given all the information that we can provide in terms of what our investigation has entailed, what the efforts have been on behalf of the LAPD and other partner law enforcement agencies. We've put a lot of resources into this investigation. So just to be clear to the public, the LAPD has taken this report seriously from the moment that we received it, and we have expended a lot of resources to include a trip this past weekend to the U.S.-Mexico border to collaborate with our partners there. So this is an investigation where we've done a lot of things face-to-face with our partners, and we've done we've gone to extraordinary measures in terms of our technological investigations in this case. We've really left no stone unturned, and it's led us to this conclusion and the information that the chief is providing today.
Alan, I don't know whether you or Lieutenant wants to run, but is there anything in the information you gained from previous messages, things like that, which mentioned a name of a person, a group, or something that might assist her in disconnecting from society? Is this an individual desire, or does she express some kind of a knowledge or an awareness of a certain type of pattern of social organization she might want to join somewhere in Mexico?
Generalized individual desire, we have no information that she's working with anyone else.
You guys had a couple of these cases recently, unfortunately, where women have decided to just, maybe change or disappear on their own. Did any words you would say to someone thinking about this? Convert them, I guess. You guys take all these cases so seriously. It requires a lot of manpower.
A tremendous amount of manpower, yeah. Yeah, a lot of personnel involved in any major investigation like this, and in order to try and protect those that are in many cases very vulnerable. My my ask would be to anybody considering doing this, think about the people that you're leaving behind, your loved ones who are going to be worried sick about you, the number of people, including law enforcement and other.
I'm stumped. I don't know what to say. This shit is weird. This reminds me of that weird case where old girl, I can't remember her name, but I remember JLR covering it, right? She faked like her own kidnapping and shit. Carly Russell. Like this gives me Carly Russell vibes. I think that's her name. It gives me those type of vibes. Different scenario, different, it's different circumstances, obviously, but this gives off Carly Russell vibes to me right now. Am I tripping? Now I'm not. I mean, if you want to disappear, you disappear. But damn, dad commits suicide. What? Somebody help. Maybe you can explain this shit better than me, because it's hard to. I mean, I don't know what you're supposed to do with this type of information. Carly Russell vibes. Like, good gracious.
Partners who are going to be looking for you, which then potentially takes them away from other work that is also critically important. So there's a lot other than somebody just deciding that they want to leave and disconnect. Consider those that are behind you and those that will be impacted by your actions.
Obviously, your heart goes out to the family. They're worried about.
Absolutely.
That's crazy.
You know that the father is gone as well.
Right. Right.
What would you say to them?
I'm very sorry to the family for all that they've been through throughout this ordeal. We're very sorry for their loss. And I don't know that words can express, the feelings that they're going through during this very difficult time. But there's a lot of people very much in support of what they're going through.
In essence, Chief, this is back on the family at this point. They and the daughter basically have got to settle this between them.
Yeah, I mean, we've basically done everything we can do at this point. She's left the nation, left the country, and in another nation now. So, as I mentioned in the earlier comments, that if she comes back into the U.S., law enforcement will be notified of that, and try and do whatever we can if there's a need to it.
No, I don't. Shannon, I don't think they can, just for the simple fact that. And what's going on, B-Roll? Welcome to the stream. I see few people coming in. I'm very confused with this whole entire thing. Can she be charged with what you're saying, Shannon? Not necessarily, because the family, I believe, has put this out and said she was missing, etc. Uncharacteristic text messages. I believe that's from the family's aspect. So as far as them being able to charge her for anything like that, I mean, the family. She wasn't the one who called the police on herself and said, I'm missing and come find me, right? So no, I don't see her being able to be charged. If she was, I'd be surprised, because she, again, didn't choose for her family to call in and say that she was missing either. But they're saying this. Stephen A says, how did they know she left the country? Well, they say there's a video. There's a video of her crossing into almost saying New Mexico. There's a video of her crossing into Mexico, they're saying. And I can understand if the police or if the family, you know what? Maybe the family saying, oh, you say she's crossing into Mexico? Where's the video? Maybe they're refusing to show them the video. I don't know if they've seen the video. That is a good question for, the family. I wonder if I believe they're going to be speaking out tomorrow. I'm going to predict that they'll be on News Nation or something, because they want more answers. So I don't believe this is the last we'll see from this family. I believe this family will come out. This family will speak. They'll probably hook up with every news station that wants to contact them and talk about, now that they put it out, talk about what was put out and why they disagree with it. So hopefully we can hear more of their side of the story and why they were so angry at this investigation. I'm curious. I want to hear them.
That time.
Mexican authorities, though, have a certain degree of latitude way beyond what forces here in the United States might have. Had you advised them of the situation, fill them in as much as you can, might they decide to take action on their own? Whatever that might be.
Yeah, I haven't had any interaction. I don't know if nothing. No.
What day did she cross over?
Oh, I can answer. Yeah, please.
November 12th at 12:13 p.m.
Even night.
She walked through the tunnel that leads to Mexico.
In San Diego,
Yeah, she walked through so it's the San Ysidro port of entry, and she walked through the tunnel that leads to Mexico, and that was at 12:13 on the 12th, 12:13 p.m.
What about the text messages that she sent to her family?
Where's the video? Drop it.
Sounded as though she was in distress.
Drop the video.
What information I gave to you?
Yeah, we're going to address it.
Yeah, good.
So we can't speak to her state of mind. We are aware there have been some communications prior. We are aware of that communication, and we cannot necessarily interpret. I think some of the communication can be interpreted a number of different ways. So at this time, we're not able to interpret those communications without having Hannah present to explain, how she felt when she sent them and what the specific meanings were for those messages.
Let's do one more question. Shanna was with an unknown person at Metro Station.
I can address that.
Metro.com arena. Any idea of who that person was?
So the question was about the individual that she was identified traveling with on the Metro. We have identified that individual. That individual was cooperative in the investigation. That individual cooperated by allowing himself to be interviewed with his attorney present and family members. He gave a full disclosure of the entire sequence of events. We utilized independent investigative techniques to verify his story, and it fully checked out. They met at LAX. Right. Thank you.
All right. The LAPD now giving information about the disappearance of Hannah Kobayashi. It was voluntary from their investigation.
Yeah, where's the video? Definitely want to, I wonder if that's what the family's upset about. Maybe they wanted to see the video and they didn't get to see it. I don't have the video, just relaying what law enforcement said. November 12th. What a long time ago. Need proof. Need to see that video to believe this bullshit. I wonder if that's why, Stephen A., do you think that they shown mom or sister this video of her crossing, or they didn't, and that's why they're mad? I'm interested. I'm curious. Fake mayor scandal. You said they are angry because dad died. The police are slipping that under the rug, and the press are not asking. Yeah, I don't know why they're not. You said, what about all the money from the GoFundMe? We read that last night, right? What they say they were going to use it for, Courtney? They were going to use it for dad's funeral and the resources to find her. That's pretty much what it said, for volunteers and the rest of their team that they have together looking for her. So, I'm not sure.
She is, as far as they can tell, alive and well and living in Mexico. She crossed over, as you just heard, on November 13th or November 12th at 12:13 in the afternoon, alone, in good health. And as far as they're concerned, although it's not closed because they need to actually contact her in order to close the case, the indications are that there is no crime that has been committed. She is neither a perpetrator nor a victim.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. We got to watch this. Let me go to here. I didn't know she spoke on it, huh? My wife was talking about this, and we gotta watch my wife real fast. She's always listen to her when she makes videos. No, that's not it. That's not it. Here she is. Shout out to my wife.
What happened to a Hawaiian beauty on her bucket list trip? She takes a photo with Simon in New York. She finally gets to go see the city. She gets to LAX airport, and then vanishes. Something is very wrong with this scenario. Then I hear Alexis Torres that she's at the airport overnight. She's waiting for an early morning flight, hopefully, and then suddenly she pops up at the Grove. Hold on, I need to shrink. Karen Starton joining me. We're now psychologist, TV, radio trauma expert, and consultant. If you're looking for her online, she's at KarenStark.com, Karen with a C. Karen, a lot of this isn't making sense to me. Now, she travels with the ex, even though they're broken up. At first, I was hung up on that. Then I found out they couldn't get a refund. So, they had to grin and bear it. He goes on to catch his flight. LA law enforcement has looked at all the surveillance of him leaving his flight and walking, just like we saw Caitlin Armstrong, every step of the way to his connecting flight. He made it.
We got married.
He is not a suspect. But why? This is the part I don't get. When you're trying to catch a flight to get to your destination, why do you leave the airport and decide to go shopping at a mall? It's an outdoor mall. It's famous.
I did.
I don't get that part.
That is
Well, Nancy, that's the
my,
part that everyone is wondering about.
that is my wife, Chad. Okay. This is my wife. We got married unknown in summer, a little bit after summer. Again, we've yet to go on that honeymoon though. We're going to the crime con.
And it certainly seems like somebody else may have been involved because it doesn't make sense. And the only thing I can think of is that she's being coerced or manipulated. Somebody has her with some kind of Stockholm syndrome, trauma bonding, and she can't leave. And they are making her go to these destinations to have it seem that things are normal.
Hold on right there. You know, as much as I'd love to dive down that rabbit hole with you, let me just get the bus out of the weeds and back in the middle of the road. Because isn't it true, Alexis Terezchuk, that while at the Grove, she takes pictures of herself and sends them to her aunt, and there's nobody coercing her. She looks happy.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Yes, she went to the Grove 2 days in a row. So she lands on Friday night. She goes to the Grove on Saturday. Then the next time we see her again, she's back at the Grove this is the LeBron James event at the Nike store.
Okay, now the story becomes even more bizarre. How do tarot card readings fit into Hannah's disappearance? Listen.
On the evening of Saturday, November 9th, Hannah Kobayashi makes 2 Venmo payments
Oh, whoa. What is going on here? Oh, hell nah.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Venmo. One payment is made at 6:25 p.m. to a woman named Veronica Almendarez. The payment includes a description of a bow and arrow emoji. Less than 1 hour later, at 7:19 p.m., Kobayashi makes a Venmo payment to Jonathan Taylor. In the subject line of the second Venmo payment is the word reading.
Okay, Alexis Terezchuk.
What was on
Tarot
the ballot?
card
That's
readings.
still weird.
Number 1, I don't believe in them. Number 2, I had one done during the Atlanta Olympics as a lark. A defense attorney also read tarot cards, and as a lark, I said, okay, read my cards. And he said in 1996, you will marry a man that's already in your life many years from now, and you will have twins, a boy and a girl.
Oh, really?
That was 96. 2007, I married David, who I've known since my senior year of college, and we had 2 children, a boy and a girl. Still don't believe in it.
You're funny.
Okay. Because I can't bring it into evidence in a court of law. And I hear Gregory Moore's high-profile lawyer going, that's right. But tell me.
Man, what the hell is this family supposed to do, though? That's what I don't understand. Like, what are they supposed to do? When you hear she went into Mexico, it's her right to do so. I just wonder what they're not accepting by law enforcement. What is not being accepted by them from law enforcement? The explanation, did they not show them a video? Is there something going on like that where they possibly didn't show them a video? I mean, that's the only other thing I can see them being real mad about.
Where does she get a tarot card
Night,
reading?
Lotus. Salute.
I mean, they're everywhere. So the Grove is a shopping district. So the mall's in the middle. There are streets north and south, east and west of there. It's the Melrose district. Tarot card readings all up and down the street. She could walk to any of them. This is a busy area. She could find it anywhere along those streets.
Beautiful woman.
Okay, that's leading me somewhere else to Irv Brandt. Now I've got her leave. She's left the airport. She's at the Grove, not 1 day, but 2 days. Still planning to catch a flight. There she is. That's in front of the Nike store at the Grove.
It's that LeBron. Hold on. Let me see if Nancy dropped the full podcast. I wonder if she talked to any of the parents. Usually she will. 1 second. She probably did a whole thing. I just got to find it. Okay, crime stories. Okay, so there is some up here, but I don't see anything about the mother goose land murders. I haven't heard of that one, Nancy. Damn, I ain't talked to my wife in about a year. I'm just kidding. Oh, here it is right here. Here we go. Okay, now we're talking. Now we're talking. Oh yeah, well, let's check this out. Let's see what she's saying. About to throw that bad boy on. Accept, hand it up.
Where'd you get those shoes? Easy. They're from DSW. Because
King,
I got them from my wife.
the ultimate family holiday movie experience.
Man.
Reunite with the characters you
Man,
know
man,
and the
man,
untold
man.
story you never expect.
Breaking news tonight, an eerie twist emerging in the case of a Hawaiian beauty who disappears between flights at LAX, LA Airport. Where is Hannah? Good evening. I'm Nancy Grace. This is
What is
Crime
that?
Stories. Thank you for being with us.
Pictures show Hannah Kobayashi arriving in a black hoodie with colorful sweatpants while wearing a pair of headphones as she walked.
This is the full Nancy Grace episode. She only put a clip up of it, I guess, which probably dropped the rest of it tomorrow. But I wonder if she got any of the family members on.
Walks to LAX. Her ex-boyfriend makes it to the connecting flight to JFK in New York, but Hannah does not. There isn't a lot of time between landing from Hawaii and catching
Yeah,
the
right?
connecting
Let me know.
flight to JFK, just over 60 minutes. And some believe she simply missed the connecting flight and will take the next available flight on Saturday. Her suitcase is on the plane to JFK.
None of this is making sense. Now, we all saw the famous movie Terminal, all right, with Tom Hanks in it, about someone that ends up living in an airport. Okay, that's not real. This is. Joining me, an all-star panel to make sense of what we know right now. But first to Alexis Tereszczuk, crimeonline.com investigative reporter. Alexis, thank you for being with us. Let's just take it very slowly. Tell me about Hannah's bucket list. I understand that she was coming from Hawaii, layover in LA, brief layover, and she was headed to a photo assignment in New York, and that she took that assignment because going to New York City was on her bucket list. What else can you tell me?
She lives in Hawaii. She has a
lot.
beautiful
That's a lot.
array of her work on her Instagram. So she is a photographer. She got this job in New York. Yes, that is part of her bucket list. She wants to travel the world, and she wants to show off her beautiful photography. So she lands in Los Angeles on Friday, November 8th. This is about, she has a connection at 11 p.m. She misses it. But the thing was, she was traveling with a friend, an ex-boyfriend. They were going to go together to New York. Even though they were broken up, they were traveling together.
Think it's about that?
Whoa, wait.
So you think it's all about getting money? How much did they raise, by the way? I'm curious. I know some of you guys think that. Okay, GoFundMe, Hannah Kobayashi, 46,000. So they're at 46,000.
Antenna going up. Did I hear BF boyfriend? Did I hear those words?
Yes, actually, ex-boyfriend.
Okay, stop right there. Stop right there. Stop, and stop. I'm trying to make sense of what I'm hearing because we all know. Let me go straight out to Gregory Morse, high-profile lawyer at King and Morse, author of The Untested on Amazon. Greg, now, I'm sure all your clients are innocent, but that said, the first place you look when anybody goes missing is husband, boyfriend, ex, lover. Would you agree with that?
That's right. I do agree. And I agree that everyone that King Morse represents is likely innocent. And I do agree that the police and any family member looking would go right to the last person that saw Hannah alive before those in text, which would be the ex-boyfriend. It's strange that they were traveling together, even though they're apparently ex-boyfriend and girl.
That's good to know. It's just like old money hungry SR. Yeah, and they don't even get me into that.
Throwing in the word ex, Alexis Tereszczuk, means nothing. And Greg brought it up too.
Reminds me of
Scott
someone.
Eicher joining us, who has worked many missing persons cases, founding member of the FBI's Cellular Analysis Team, CAST. That's impressive. Scott, aside from your
It reminds me of another person that used the Rev Gang family for a lot of money. We all know who that is, though, from the Sebastian Rogers case. Remember that old goofy? That, you know, people were like, "Nah, he's using y'all for money," or blah blah blah. Shit, you weren't lying. And it's crazy that some people look at it that way too. Like, damn, I can get this much out of this if I keep doing this. The motivation you would think is to find your loved one, and some motivation is money, straight up. I mean, it just is what it is.
Of her work on her Instagram. So she is a photographer. She got this job in New York. Yes, that is part of her bucket list. She wants to travel the world, and she wants to show off her beautiful photography. So she lands in Los Angeles on Friday, November 8th. This is she has a connection at 11 p.m. She misses it. But the thing was, she was traveling with a friend, an ex-boyfriend. They were going to go together to New York. Even though they were broken up, they were traveling together.
Whoa, wait. Antenna going up. Did I hear BF boyfriend? Did I hear those words?
Yes, actually, ex-boyfriend.
Okay, stop right there. Stop right there. Stop.
Notoriety, donations, etc. But it's all good. I mean, what goes around comes around to other people. You know, you do some shit. It may not come right now, but it's coming. I'm telling you.
Stop and stop. I'm trying to make sense of what I'm hearing,
It's
because
crazy that people
we
do this.
all know. I want to go straight out to Gregory Morse, high-profile lawyer at King and Morse, author of The Untested on Amazon. Greg, now, I'm sure all your clients are innocent, but that said, the first place you look when anybody goes missing is husband, boyfriend, ex, lover. Would you agree with that?
That's right. I do agree. And I agree that everyone that King Morse represents is likely innocent. And I do agree that the police and any family member looking would go right to the last person that saw Hannah alive before those in text, which would be the ex-boyfriend. It's strange that they were traveling together, even though they're apparently ex-boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah, you know, throwing in the word ex, Alexis Tereszczuk, means nothing.
It's getting warm.
And Greg brought it up too. To Scott Eicher joining us, who has worked many missing persons cases, founding member of the FBI's Cellular Analysis Team, CAST.
What's his name?
That's impressive. Scott, aside from your expertise in cellular, cell phone, and digital analysis, let me talk to you about missing people. The fact that
It was a dude from Idaho 4 for a second.
That means nothing to me, because no offense, you are a man. Men only become enraged when the woman breaks up. That makes someone that is have violence just beneath the surface boil over. So the fact that it's an ex means nothing. An ex that decided to travel with her on this trip.
I totally agree.
Ex means nothing. It's still a romantic liaison.
I totally agree. I mean, they've had a past. We don't know what the future is in that relationship.
I haven't talked about
and
it.
It's always someone that you have to start looking initially is the last person that saw her. Ex-boyfriend was on the flight with her.
You know, that's one thing, Alexis Tereszczuk, that's the last thing I would want, to break up with a man and then there he is sitting beside me on a 5-hour flight.
Yeah, Cheryl. No, we only heard that 4-minute clip. This is an actual full podcast. I'm just listening to what she's saying.
Or however long it is from Hawaii to LA, like right there.
I'm about to get
you break
coffee
up with
too.
him and there he is.
Get revved up.
But correct me if I'm wrong, but he made his connecting flight, didn't he? Which separates them.
He did. He went on to New York. They only had about an hour layover in Los Angeles. He got on to the next plane. She did not.
Okay. You joining us from LA, Alexis, if you could just describe the LA airport. And you know, there's that stretch, Alexis, which is underground. It's a long, I mean, you can't even see the end of it. When you're getting off one plane and you're going elsewhere, you have to go in a long underground tunnel where you lose cell reception very often. You know that spot in LAX?
Yes.
So LAX is a madhouse. It's crazy.
And it's 7 terminals, and it's not like the Atlanta airport where you have that train that moves you from terminal to terminal. You have to walk everywhere in Los Angeles. So you walk underground from terminal to terminal, and it's like a huge U-shaped. So to go from terminal to terminal can take quite a long time if you're walking it. It's just a gigantic airport.
And when you're trying to make a connection in 1 hour, your flight lands, then your next flight takes off in 1 hour. That's almost impossible in LAX. Okay, back to you, Scott Eicher, founding member, FBI Cellular Analysis Survey Team, and expert in missing people. Do you believe the fact that the boyfriend actually catches his connecting flight, excludes him? Because apparently police do.
That takes a little bit more of investigative work. You don't know what happened prior to the flight, if he was involved in maybe, drugging her or something simple like that. She got off the plane, went to, disappeared after that. He made it further on to the connecting flight. What happened in between in that 40 minutes?
Okay, let me think about what Scott Eicher just said. Joining me is Irv Brandt. In addition to Alexis Tereszczuk, Scott Eicher, and Gregory Morse. Irv, former Senior Inspector, U.S. Marshal Service International Investigations Branch, author of a series of books on Amazon about Jack Solo, the first being Solo Shot, Curse of the Blue Stone. Okay, hold on, Irv. Do you remember when you and I investigated Caitlin Armstrong, the so-called glam yoga instructor? Number one, she killed Mariah, a beautiful young world-class dirt bike rider who happened to be in town for a race. There's Caitlin at the airport, and I believe that is, let's see, it's not LaGuardia, it's not JFK. That's got to be the Jersey airport. That's got to be Newark.
It's Liberty International in Newark.
Yes. Now, remember how Caitlin Armstrong, who had just murdered Mo, just because Mo had a hamburger with Armstrong's boyfriend. Yeah, all this over a hamburger. That said, they caught her every move. She was using her sister's passport. She went on to hide out in Costa Rica, and you actually called it weeks before she was caught, Irv Brandt, down there teaching surfing yoga. She had plastic surgery on her face, changed her hair, going by a different name, but the U.S. Marshals found her. Irv Brandt, what I'm leading up to is, look at her. They had her every move, not once, but in 2 airports. I mean, the only place with more video surveillance than an airport may be a Vegas casino or Target, of course, who has the best surveillance video ever. That said, Irv, I guarantee you, law enforcement has pulled the video in LAX and watched the boyfriend's every move.
Of that, I have no doubt, Nancy. Like the other panelists said, that you're going to focus primarily on a relationship person first until you rule them out. And I'm sure that the FBI and the LAPD tracked the boyfriend's movements across the airport, made sure he did get on the flight, then probably tracked his movements in New York to confirm that he wasn't no longer a person of interest in this case.
I'm thinking about LAX, Irv, and everybody on the panel also joining us, renowned psychologist Karen Stark. Karen Stark, I'm going to circle back to you because the last thing you want is your ex popping up in the seat beside you. God forbid it be a middle seat. That said, this woman, gorgeous brunette beauty out of Hawaii, gets as far as LAX, then seemingly vanishes between flights. The first place you look in an airport, Scott Eicher, how do you, LAX is over 5 acres. Where do you start looking for her in an airport? The bathrooms, the lounges, the restaurants, but it should be easily spotted there. So then you have to go behind the scenes, behind the doors that say employees only. I mean, how do you do it, Scott?
Well, as you said, those cameras in the airports are just fantastic. And I mean, you have a starting point, the exit from the plane into the terminal. Then you just follow that person. Hopefully, I mean, I've been to LAX. It's a nut place, and it's just so many people. I can see it might be difficult, but it's still possible to follow her through the terminal as she goes.
All right, I'm back.
Away from the airplane itself, and then to other parts
I had
of
to
the
give me some
airport
damn
itself.
coffee. Follower from the plane.
If your business needs a new application, then developers will have to write code. A lot of code. If an application needs to be modified,
Be real quick.
Or a mistletoe.
Casino.com.
But
they break up before
some of these damn commercials.
LAX.
Okay, here we go.
Women and embrace your beauty with L'Oreal Paris. Because you're worth it.
Crime Stories with Nancy Grace. The search for Hannah is riddled with mystery. She leaves Maui, scheduled to catch a flight at LAX, a flight
What a
to New
dummy.
York City, but missed it because of a short layover, according to her family. Police working with the family to find her in a desperate search. So what happens next?
30-year-old Hannah Kobayashi is on a bucket list trip from her home in Hawaii to New York. She is going to visit an aunt in upstate New York and take photos at a DJ show in Brooklyn. Kobayashi plans the trip with her boyfriend, but they break up before the trip. Unable to get a refund, they agree to fly together to New York and go their separate ways upon arrival. Hannah and her ex arrive at Los Angeles International Airport on Friday at 9:53 p.m. and have a connecting flight to JFK in New York scheduled for 11 p.m.
What happened to a Hawaiian beauty? On her bucket list trip, she takes a photo with Simon in New York. She finally gets to go see the city. She gets to LAX airport, and then vanishes. Something is very wrong with this scenario. Then I hear Alexis Tereszchuk that she's at the airport overnight. She's waiting for an early morning flight, hopefully, and then suddenly she pops up at the Grove. Hold on, I need to shrink. Karen Stark joining me, renowned psychologist, TV, radio trauma expert, and consultant. If you're looking for her online, she's at KarenStark.com, Karen with a C. Karen, a lot of this isn't making sense to me.
Hell
now,
no, it
she
ain't.
travels with the ex, even
Tell
though
them
they're
that.
broken up.
Shit ain't
At
making
first,
zeros.
I was hung up on that. Then I found out they couldn't get a refund. So, they had to grin and bear it. He goes on to catch his flight. LA law enforcement has looked at all the surveillance of him leaving his flight and walking, just like we saw Caitlin Armstrong, every step of the way to his connecting flight. He made it. He is not a suspect. But why? This is the part I don't get. When you're trying to catch a flight to get to your destination, why do you leave the airport and decide to go shopping at a mall? It's an outdoor mall. It's famous.
What doesn't even make more sense is that dad kills himself. And I've mentioned this the last couple of days. Why would he do that with no confirmation that she is deceased? I mean, that there's zero confirmation she's deceased or anything has happened to her. So I don't know. Allegedly. Yeah.
So I don't get that part.
Well, Nancy, that's the part that everyone is wondering about. And it certainly seems like somebody else may have been involved because it doesn't make sense. And the only thing I can think of is that she's being coerced or manipulated. Somebody has her with some kind of Stockholm Syndrome, trauma bonding, and she can't leave. And they are making her go to these destinations to have it seem that things are normal.
Hold on right there. As much as I'd love to dive down that rabbit hole with you, let me just get the bus out of the weeds and back in the middle of the road. Because isn't it true, Alexis Tereszchuk, that while at the Grove, she takes pictures of herself and sends them to her aunt, and there's nobody coercing her. She looks happy.
Yes, she went to the Grove 2 days in a row. So she lands on Friday night. She goes to the Grove on Saturday. And the next time we see her again, she's back at the Grove this is the LeBron James event at the Nike store.
Okay, now the story becomes even more bizarre. How do tarot
got you.
card readings fit into Hannah's disappearance? Listen.
On the evening of Saturday, November 9th, Hannah Kobayashi makes 2 Venmo payments. One payment is made at 6:25 p.m. to a woman named Veronica Almendarez. The payment includes a description of a bow and arrow emoji. Less than 1 hour later, at 7:19 p.m., Kobayashi makes a Venmo payment to Jonathan Taylor. In the subject line of the second Venmo payment is the word reading.
Okay, Alexis Terezchuk. Tarot card readings.
Say what?
Number 1, I don't believe in them. Number 2, I had one done during the Atlanta Olympics as a lark. A defense attorney also read tarot cards, and as a lark, I said, okay, read my cards. And he said in 1996, you will marry a man that's already in your life many years from now, and you will have twins, a boy and a girl.
Oh, really?
That was 96. 2007, I married David, who I've known since my senior year of college.
Manhunt underway after murder suspect escapes. Oh, shit.
That was in custody for murder is on the run after escaping from state prison authorities.
Eyewitness News reporter Mary Peronian is in studio with what we know. Mary?
Well, Michael and Rochelle, Delano police say 34-year-old Cesar Hernandez, serving 25 years to life for first-degree murder, escaped from California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation custody. Officials were transporting Hernandez for a court appearance when he jumped out of a van near 10th Avenue and Kensington Street and fled off. Hernandez is described as 5'5", weighs 161 pounds, with brown eyes and brown hair, and he was last seen wearing an orange prison jumpsuit. Now, the CDCR says Hernandez is from LA County and has been in custody since 2019 for a second strike offense and first-degree murder. Now, the Delano Police Department is working with CDCR and other law enforcement agencies in the manhunt. Now, authorities warn that Hernandez is considered dangerous, and they're urging community members to stay vigilant and report any sightings immediately by calling Delano PD, and their phone number is right there below your screen. With the latest, Mary Peronian, Eyewitness News.
Damn. So there's an escape. That dude's small, 5'5". He's 5'5", 160. Woo. Damn. Let me see. Cali. California. Nothing really out there like. Hold up. Let me pull this up real quick. That's wild. 20 minutes and 24 seconds. All right.
A man that was in custody for murder is on the run after escaping from state prison authorities.
Eyewitness News reporter Mary Peronian is in studio with what we know. Mary?
Well, Michael and Rochelle, Delano police say 34-year-old Cesar Hernandez, serving 25 years to life for first-degree murder, escaped from California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation custody. Officials were transporting Hernandez for a court appearance when he jumped out of a van near 10th Avenue and Kensington Street and fled off. Hernandez is described as 5'5", weighs 161 pounds, with brown eyes and brown hair, and he was last seen
Homie small like Cavalcante.
wearing an orange prison jumpsuit. Now, the CDCR says Hernandez is from LA County and has been in custody since 2019 for a second strike offense and first-degree murder. Now, the Delano Police Department is working with CDCR and other law enforcement agencies in the manhunt. Now, authorities warn that Hernandez is considered dangerous, and they're urging community members to stay vigilant and report any sightings immediately by calling Delano PD, and their phone number is right there below your screen. With the latest, Mary Peronian, Eyewitness News.
Hi, I'm Rochelle Murcia with Eyewitness
There's
News.
just not much. There's not much that I was seeing about this person though. Besides, that was the only video. I don't see anything on here. What county is this, by the way? Let me see. What county are we talking about here? A man in custody for murder escaped the CDCR. Oh man, I'm about to set up. What are we talking about? I think it's time to set up a whole different what? The whole different live. I'm about to turn on the. Are we? Shit. I'm about to turn on the scanner, and we're about to get this shit rolling. Turn the scanner on and just, Stay vigilant. That's a fact. What county is it, Julia? You said you live in that area? I'm about to go grab my laptop and set up a little. I'm gonna make something here. I gotta make me a little manhunt setup. I'll get it. Put the TV over here so we have double screens. Oh yeah. What are we talking about? Restart this stream, make a different thumbnail, load up. Yeah, I don't see any choppers in the air, but we'll be on the. Yeah, I'm thinking of. Look, let's do it. Shit, fuck that. I'm not thinking about it. I'm about to do it. Like I'm thinking about it. Nah, there ain't no thinking about it. We're about to lock in. What are we talking about?
Emotional damage.
I mean, we can get, as long as I got to go and find it. I know I can find it. I'm not worried about finding the scanner, but I want to make sure that we have the correct spot, right? We need the correct spot. We need the correct county anyways. So hopefully we can get that. I can pull up Chopper Radar. That's easy. We can definitely pull that up. I just need I need a second monitor. I may have to move this one back. Okay. You know what? We'll do that. We could set up and listen for sure. Definitely.
State prison authorities.
What they got going on out there. Hopefully if there's a chopper, we'll see it this morning.
Police say 34-year-old Cesar Hernandez, serving 25 years to life for first-degree murder, escaped from California Department of Corrections.
I got you. I'm about to go make something right now.
Officials were transporting Hernandez for a court appearance when he jumped out of a van near 10th Avenue and Kensington Street and fled off. Hernandez is described as 5'5", weighs 100.
I wonder what this case is. We can pull it up and look it up. What's his name? They said his name.
Rochelle Delano police say 34-year-old Cesar Hernandez.
Okay, so Cesar Hernandez. I'm down. Kern County. All right, bet. Are y'all ready? We can go right over to it. Pop up this California manhunt. I don't know. I'm curious to hear more details on that too. I'll pull up other things once I'm about to go grab my laptop. I'm gonna end this stream off because it's really over with. It's really over with. It's time to dive into a manhunt. What are we talking about? Manhunt time. All right, I'm gonna set up. I'm gonna start making a thumbnail right now as I'm ending this stream out, and then I'm about to come back on right after I end this stream out. So shout out to those who want to join. If not, good night to you. Appreciate you being here. Make sure you hit the like button, lock in. I'm about to go jump into this manhunt, I'm gonna have some scanners playing. Hopefully I get the right one. I think it was Kern County I seen. So I'll get that and we'll set up and lock in on it. See what comes out. See if there's any chopper footage this morning. See what, gotta see what the vibes are like. I gotta set up my manhunt setup real quick too while I'm ending this live out. Shout out to again all of you who joined us tonight. It's a weird outcome in this case, but sad, truly sad. R.I.P. to her dad.
I'm the coldest in this country rap. Asking for my autograph, I put it on a starter cap. Hate to get to falling back, but sick of all the line rats. People say they got you back until it's time to pay them back. Then they toss it in your face, acting like the shit a race. Fuck a target on your back, I'ma put it in your face. Then pull the trigger, this pin like a pistol, I don't think you wanna meet her. I'm too cold with the rock, why they put me on the bench? Because I speak my mind and I don't suck dick, that's a trip. I can't blow up unless I rap politics, that's a bitch. That's the type of shit I move on, all about my business like I got a suit on. But I don't owe boots and some cutoffs, that's what I do to you every time that you move wrong. Bitch, I'm too on. I ain't got no time, bitch. Sick of hearing excuses and talking all that nonsense about what you can't do. You wouldn't last 2 seconds in these old boots, that's true. All I do is speak facts. Every time I touch mics, tell my ass to relax. Tell me I can't reach that. I'll go past that just to show you who you fucking with. Rev.
Look, I've been handing out these starter caps. I had to take them back and put them on the bench cause they can swing the bat. What the fuck, they been striking out. And I hate that. It's time to talk your sense in. You ain't never made that. You ain't never made no sense. You wanna pass me a track, I'll murder it and hand it back with actual facts. Real dudes acting shady out here scratching they backs. Cause evident money's the reason you actually rap. That's why I hate you. You underestimated what I gave you. Play around with a monster, now you smash like a grapefruit. Try to play with the flow, you getting flamed up. I'm known to put a flame to the grill like George Foreman does. I'm getting agitated, a little bit aggravated with these fabricated whack ass rappers procrastinating. You're outdated and thinking you're the king of this hip hop. I'm in the studio, victory stomping and flip flops. Victory stomping. I got the passion in my blood. You swing from Donald Trump's dick like CNN does. You were claiming you was really with the thugs when you were a politician. Now let's not switch it up, blood. They rotated, I elevated and vacated. Build a fabricated circle full of fucking fake haters. Let me elaborate it. I'm tired of fabrication. You put rappers on the bench, now they suffer from constipation. Pussy, I gotta charge it to the game. R.I.P. Pat, stay about to light the fucking flame. We can battle in the ring or you can type the fuck away. You remind me of Whack 100 using hip-hop as the game. Using hip-hop as the game.
Told me stay out of that drama, and I know you wanna see me living proper. I'm just doing this for you and all my partners. In they pocket watching, they ain't got no honor. They an actor, should've got an Oscar. I know we got some problems to get out of, and I know that we done been through some trauma. So I just write this letter to you saying, dear mama, dear mama, dear mama, dear mama. Had to write this letter to you saying, dear mama, dear mama, dear mama, dear mama. Dear mama, I just want you to have faith, yeah. No, I'm about to go fill up the bank, yeah. Dear mama, dear mama, dear mama, dear mama, dear mama, dear mama, yeah.
Dear mama, you're all that I got. I know life was messed up and went left with my pops. I was out there running the block, drugs in my sock. After I got raped, I blamed you and my pops. I was mad at life, I hated myself. I thought if I could blame y'all, it would fix itself. But I was wrong, and I can admit that there is nothing worse than waking up every day not knowing your worth. Mama, no matter what you did to me, I just wanna say I love you. I'll make you proud with victory. I stand tall every day and look these kids in the face. Growing up like I did, that's why I wanna make a change. And if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be who I am. So this song is for you, mama. You gotta know that you're special. I miss you so much. If you need me, I'll come to your rescue. Mama, I remember just the other day, you would tuck me in the bed and tell me everything's okay. You would tell me nothing's ever gonna happen, but these people kept coming around. It was like the devil watching us collapsing. I just had to forget it, but just know you're forgiven. We get stuck in the system. Mom, get out that prison, cause you're better than that. I'll carry us on our back and pull us out of that trap. Dear mama, I love you.
I know you told me stay out of that drama, and I know you wanna see me living proper. I'm just doing this for you and all my partners. In they pocket watching, they ain't got no honor. They an actor, should've got an Oscar. I know we got some problems to get out of, and I know that we done been through some trauma. So I just write this letter to you saying, dear mama, dear mama, dear mama, dear mama. Had to write this letter to you saying, dear mama, dear mama, dear mama, dear mama. Dear mama, I just want you to have faith, yeah. No, I'm about to go fill up the bank, yeah. Dear mama, dear mama, dear mama, dear mama, dear mama, dear mama, yeah.
Mama, I know you lived through the trauma, and I ain't trying to bring it up to start no drama. I just want you to know that I'ma glow in your memory, cause you were the best. I have your soul. Don't ever let no man tell you what the f to do. Don't ever let no man put his hands all over you. I don't wanna see you getting hurt anymore. You've been to hell and back, mom. It's time to open them doors. It's 2020 24, I'm here to turn the page. Voice for the voiceless, the year we make a change. Tired of the deaths in our country. People acting funny, switching over money. Materialism, people lack substance. Haters everywhere, the devil's getting comfy. Your mama, spread your wings, you're free now. Love you, I will always forgive you, no matter the troubles.
Dear mama, I know you told me stay out of that drama, and I know you wanna see me living proper. I'm just doing this for you and all my partners. In they pocket watching, they ain't got no honor. They an actor, should've got an Oscar. I know we got some problems to get out of, and I know that we done been through some trauma. So I just write this letter to you saying, dear mama, dear mama, dear mama, dear mama. Had to write this letter to you saying, dear mama, dear mama, dear mama, dear mama. Dear mama, I just want you to have faith, yeah. No, I'm about to go fill up the bank, yeah. Dear mama, dear mama, dear mama, dear mama, dear mama, dear mama.
Dang, man, that shit booted me out. Internet turned off. We're good now, though. That shit's crazy. That shit booted me out. Left the song on repeat. Bye.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Man, you know, I've been waking up these last couple days and just not feeling like myself. Feeling deep down with this depression in my mental health. You know, I know we all feel that way. I've talked to a lot of people in the Rev gang and I know they feel like that too. And that's why a lot of us relate. You know, we felt that pain. We wake up every day and stand up for those who feel it also. This is more than a movement. I really love this shit. I put my heart and soul into it too. Look, man, let's get to it. Wake up every day, going through depression. Learned another lesson as I count my blessings. Rise above the pain, make a new impression. Backs turn on me for the fame, casting shadows of doubt every time that you speak on my name. But that won't be a stepping stone for the clout or the fame. When the truth comes to light, the face will burn out in a shame. I'll keep rising above while they stay stuck in the game. Turning every light of fuel for my flame. Never flaunted my wealth, but still played in the game. Boy, gave from my heart just to get stabbed in my back. Now I'm treated like an enemy, cause loyalty they lack. Jealous of my rise, envious of my path. While they plot and scheme, I keep my goals intact. The envy fuels my drive, ignites my inner wrath. Facing all lies, I'll never let them pass. Bringing light to the lost, the ones we need to find. Families torn apart, left broken behind. System felon kids who vanish in the night. We'll keep raising our voice until we make it right. Voice of the voiceless, echoes in the dark, shining through the shadows, igniting every spark. Together we'll stand strong, never back down, fighting for justice until the lost is found. Haters throw the shade, they try to drag me down, but I rise above the lies and wear my strength like a crown. The whispers feel my fire, but can't dim my glow. Every step I take forward leaves them stuck at the dope. Innocent lives lost, kids gone without a trace. We fight for justice every day to bring light to the case. Too many tears shed, too many hearts torn apart. And we won't rest till we bring peace to every heart. You don't need anyone to pave your way. You've got the strength to rise and slay. Let's do it. Remember, success is in your hands, and the love from your true ones is all you need to stand. That's a fact. When the world tries to bring you down, just look around and wear your crown. You've got the fire, the drive, the spark to light up your night. Look, stay ahead of the fate. Keep your balance up straight. Don't let a sucker in your circle that just turns to a snake. I remember when you were here but couldn't look me in the face. If you want what I got, you gotta really feel the pain, boy. It takes commitment. You really gotta love what you're pitching. This ain't a job to me. I wake up and really live this. I feel the pain from these victims. That's why I stay to myself, cause all they want is your wealth. They see you getting money, then they start to want it themselves. That's not what it's about. You're thinking of clout while the mission's making a change for the families losing a mouth. I used to be the person with no voice. It was like I was silenced from the start, really with no choice. And if I could go back, I would help my mom and help everyone off drugs so nothing would go wrong. We were failed by the system, voices never mentioned. People doing dope, dying in my kitchen. CPS at the door cause somebody called the system. What you know about failing with a family with no vision. Grew up in the hood, never knew what love was. Always waiting for my dad by the window like a bus. I evolved into me and found out what love was. I ain't letting off the brakes until God picks me up. Boy, I'm parking on these haters, staying in my path. I jumped on the mower cause I had to cut the grass. Every time I see you hate, it makes me wanna laugh. Cause you're jealous of my grind and try to emulate my craft. All of you are weak, fucking bullies of the weak. Waking up every day, trying to walk us like we're sheep. I got my eyes open so I close them when you speak. Cause you really don't exist if you're something I don't see, boy. To my people standing tall, don't ever lose sight. Keep pushing through the darkness until you reach the light. Don't let the haters be your downfall. Rise above their game. You've got the power within, let them remember your name. We fight for the voiceless, for those who can't be heard, bringing justice and peace with every spoken word. Together, we stand strong in unity and might, creating change in this world, shining bright in the night. Remember your strength, don't ever let it fade. In a world full of shadows, be the light that you made. Keep your heart true, let your spirit be bold, and together we'll write a story that's worth being told.
Yeah, that's my shit. That is my shit. Hold up. I'm almost done. What else we got here? Hold up.
Bang. Shots fired. Pain.
Here we go.
You ever had something that meant so much to you, meant so much, you never wanted to let it go? Never. Me and you mean forever. I don't ever wanna lose you, cause you mean so much to me. I said you reached into my soul and you covered up that hole. I never knew that you were meant for me. It's like you took what was broken, you put it back together. No more living in misery. When we talked the first night, you made me lose my mind, and now I'm thinking about forever together. You and I wanna hold you in my arms till you take your last breath. Even when we go to heaven, we'll be together in death. Yo, lately I've been waking up with you on my mind. A day without you would feel like the day I'm gonna die. See, you're always on my mind, and I'll never tell a lie. I just wanna share my life with you until the day I die. Even when we're in the sky, we'll be shining so bright that we're lighting up the sky. And we're touching other lives. See, with you I feel alive. Girl, I'll never make you cry. Ever since I met you, baby, you've been opening my eyes. Seeing you with other guys would make me lose my fucking mind. You make me feel like I'm the greatest, even got me feeling shy, cause I never used to smile and now I do it all the time. I had a lot of lonely nights, but my soul is shining bright. Since you walked into my life, you made me a better guy. I don't think about different women, I think about you and I. Me and you mean forever. I don't ever wanna lose you, cause you mean so much to me. I said you reached into my soul and you covered up that hole. I never knew that you were meant for me. It's like you took what was broken, you put it back together. No more living in misery. When we talked the first night, you made me lose my mind, and now I'm thinking about forever together. You and I wanna hold you in my arms till you take your last breath. Even when we go to heaven, we'll be together in death.
It's to the haters, though. What's up? It's to the haters.
Yo, look. Project. A lot of y'all claim that y'all some rappers, but it's a true fact that every one of y'all are actors. Taking shots at me, but missing every clip. I'm your motherfucking master. Bow down, you little bitch. Huh. Y'all really want the beef? I'm a suicide bomber, making sure you go to sleep. Put the wrench to you, loosen up every crease, then take the screw out like whoopee during beef. Yo, boy, you the hardest on the internet until I pull up at your dinner and eat your chicken legs. You go hard in the chat, but never been a threat. Soft like a pamper, you're crying, I think you pissed your bed. Y'all claim that you're about to hang me up, but it's a motherfucking fact that every one of y'all sucks. You're a clone to the game and that nips it in the butt. If your leader takes dick, I guess you're riding in his trunk. No, you're the type to plot on me till I pull up. Pop the trunk open with the pump, like what's up, chumps? Say hi to Jack, cause I'm about to take what I want. You rap like you're hard, but in person you're my fucking son. My sons, y'all be talking slick behind my fucking back, but when you see me, every one of y'all will give me that. What's up? Hey T-REV, that shit you spitting's fucking crack. Get the milk ready, cause it's time I make you take a nap. I keep it 100 like when I wear my fucking hat. Knock 'em out the park with one swing from a metal bat. Taking off the heads of these snakes when I slam the axe. I see you throwing shade, but my 4-5 removes you fast. I'm in the zone, every day I wake up. We label you a hater cause you hide under makeup. When you diss me on the track, you talk about a lot of fake stuff. When I diss you on the track, I bet you go around and break stuff. I see you in the comments, acting like a bomb threat. Shooting out the bunker like an old Vietnam vet. Make you watch me be successful with my content. Taking out your squad like the troops dipping lines. You claiming that y'all beast until I pass it to the playboy. I play like Troy Aikman, breaking down every playboy. Shutting down that shit like a tackle from the Ray Boy. When we land a hit, we ain't stopping till till we make noise.
Made it out the trenches, I ain't going back. See everything we spittin', boy, you know it's facts, nigga. Just a week ago, they didn't know I rap. Ain't know me though. Now it's me and T-REV on this Playboy track. Mama told me she ain't want me out there selling crack. So I told my mama, just relax, I'm trying to sell these raps. 40 on my hip, I'm with the shit, you can't tell I'm strapped. But I stay prepared, bust his head when I smell a rat. This the life I'm living, tell them niggas mind their business. If I end up back in prison, then you know I'm getting sentenced. That's what they yelling, I'm never telling. Busted cerebellum, all on this kick, splatter is milling. Big guns spit fast like Big Pun. You niggas don't really wanna get none. Come get some, yeah, come get some. Turn your ass to a motherfucking victim. 1 to the O to the O to the K-U-F-I-S. Y'all niggas better respect my set. Niggas ain't trying to go neck and neck. Throw that bitch like an extra sketch. I do this shit effortless. This is just my method, man. Spit it like Inspector Deck. I don't even recollect the last time that I wrote a rap, but T-REV hit me up, I said let's get it. Ain't no holding back. Haters always told me that I never make it out alive, but I'm the same guy that all these haters start to idolize. Soon as they get out of line, I'm thinking about an alibi. Kill your whole squad like the massacre on Valentine. Rappers running out of time, we just getting started. Got a whole gang of niggas that's with me, they all retarded. If you call me out my name, you'll end up dearly departed. And I don't think you niggas really wanna be the target. Goofy.
T-REV, hand me the strap. Let's ride on these motherfuckers. This murder gang shit's for life, boy. Get down and get laid the fuck down. Yo, if you bustin' shots at mine, no compromise, you gotta die. I don't hide behind my soldiers, I be on that front line. The art of war is strategizing, so our power's on the rise. The three of us against anybody, they gotta like the minds. I'm your entourage, under the side, murdering all of your guys. Lyrical homicide and words of weapons, and y'all about to meet your demise. I keep my name out your mouth if you was wise, or I'm about to clown on you like Pennywise. Surrounded by miles behind enemy lines, you niggas gazelles and you fucking with lies. You're like some terrorists, fucking with the US, bro. I'm dropping bombs and you suckers, the only way you gon' blow. Slapped your face and now you're flying with the UFOs. Your pussy try to jump my brother, now you're getting exposed. Yeah. You rockin' with 3 of the best that ever do it. When the music is the booming, all of us spoons, I better cool it. You push it just sweeter than cool, but do with me, get it pushing too late. Flipping the burn that record labels, to be truthful, I give 2 shits.
That's the haters. I'm almost done. I said that like 50 times, but for real, I got the monitor set up right here, laptop set right here, Mac right here. So I'll have, we'll have a bunch of shit going on. Bear with me. I'm just playing a few jams if I end this and go over to the next.
I used to sleep next to a window. I heard them shots busting. 2 years later, I was out there having ops running. 3 years later, I'm in this booth. I think I got something. Most you rappers speaking fairy tales, so just stop bluffing. I seen the hate up in their eyes when I started doing better. It's so easy just to see that y'all done fucking grew bitter. Fuck the other side, let it rain. You shoulda knew better. Climbing to the top, man. Y'all gon' see me in your newsletter. They burn all the bridges, and that's why you never visit. We kill off the competition, set fire to all the ridges. Now they looking so vicious, cause we got this from the trenches. My intent is so malicious, so if you want it, you can get it. I'm the hottest down my city, man. These rappers can't come close to me. Just keep it honest and please mind how you approaching me. They gave hollow promises, had nights I couldn't go to sleep. I checked my pockets, I got my Glock and I got my rosary. I'm the hottest down my city, man. These rappers can't come close to me. Just keep it honest and please mind how you approaching me. They gave hollow promises, had nights I couldn't go to sleep. I checked my pockets, I got my Glock and I got my rosary. 30 shots in the glizzy, just in case one of the ops is out here plotting to get me. You know they love you just as long as you can spot them a 50, and they hate it when they see you sitting on top of your pennies, because they count what's in your pockets like you gotta be kidding. They couldn't walk up in your shoes but try to ride in your Bentley, you fucking asshole. That's why your life is probably shitty. I feel like Batman in Gotham when he's watching the city, and I don't need a sidekick unless you robbing them with me. Me and my girl Bonnie and Clyde, Bobby and Whitney. Just because I'm Mr. Claus, I climb in your chimney. Merry Christmas, motherfucker, I ain't trying to be friendly. I'm the hottest down my city, man. These rappers can't come close to me. Just keep it honest and please mind how you approaching me. They gave hollow promises, had nights I couldn't go to sleep. I checked my pockets, I got my Glock and I got my rosary. I'm the hottest down my city, man. These rappers can't come close to me. Just keep it honest and please mind how you approaching me. They gave hollow promises, had nights I couldn't go to sleep. I checked my pockets, I got my Glock and I got my rosary. Watch how you approaching me. This bitch been a ghost to me. I'll let the Glock pop at your neck. Here, hold these rosaries. Dog, I'm nastier than I ever was supposed to be. According to the haters, had to bag them like the groceries. Open up your eyes and you'll realize that you notice me. I've been on the grind and I ain't stopping till I'm overseas. This my profession, I do it all with aggression. When I speak on the mic, I'm saying it with my chest, bitch. Yeah, I'm standing on my own 10, rocking back and forth in my city to the cold wind. Bear in mind I gotta eat cause I was chosen. I'm hungrier than you, it really shows in my emotions.
The hottest down my city, man, these rappers can't come close to me. Just keep it honest and please mind how you approaching me. They gave hollow promises, had nights I couldn't go to sleep. I checked my pockets, I got my Glock and I got my rosary. I'm the hottest.
Let them bump one time, man. Get that gospel. Man. It's nothing but pain.
Yeah, dear Jesus, how should I move? I got these demons all on me, they tryna take over again. All of this money, I know it can't pay for this life of sin. All that I ever wanted was to win, but I'm not tryna be gone in the wind. Dear Jesus, I need you to walk for me, I need you to talk for me, cause I don't seem to do it properly. Dear Jesus, yeah, dear Jesus.
Look. I wanted to change, I'm over feeling all of this pain. I've been through the struggle, I've been through the rain. These haters are looking for something to blame. They always are coming all up on my page, filled with their hatred, they think that I rage when I am really laughing in the face. You either a rep gang or you are a snake. I don't give a shit about none of your drama. My faith is with God as I fix all my problems. You people be running and hugging the fence while I stay focused on myself and I'm evolving. I use my platform every day for love and light to make a better place. Watching these kids lose their lives just makes me turn insane.
Dear Jesus, how should I move? I got these demons all on me, they tryna take over again. All of this money, I know it can't pay for this life of sin. All that I ever wanted was to win, but I'm not tryna be gone in the wind. Dear Jesus, I need you to walk for me, I need you to talk for me, cause I don't seem to do it properly. Dear Jesus, yeah, dear Jesus.
Look. It's nothing but pain. All of these families are feeling the same. Losing their loved ones to all of this violence. Our government doesn't want to make a change. It feels like a game, this shit ain't the same. All of y'all do is just pick at our brains. Give up a little info, they conceal the rest and expect us to believe what you say. How is change gonna happen? You let these pedophiles run around and trash it. They touch kids but the judge gets an ass kiss. And you expect us to wanna roll with that shit? He touched a kid and gets 2 years maximum, but gets back out on the streets looking for a scheme, sneaking in a family, then killing a team. And now we stand together as human beings. Jesus, I'm asking for help. These bastards should really be burning in hell. At least the rest of the life in the jail. We really don't understand all of the failed. Audrey Cunningham, Quentin Simon, Kylie Rodney to Summer Wells. All my life I've been waiting for purpose, and now I have it. I will prevail.
Dear Jesus, how should I move? I got these demons all on me, they tryna take over again. All of this money, I know it can't pay for this life of sin. All that I ever wanted was to win, but I'm not tryna be gone in the wind. Dear Jesus, I need you to walk for me, I need you to talk for me, cause I don't seem to do it properly. Dear Jesus, yeah, dear Jesus.
Alright, almost done. Literally almost done. This time. Ah, shit. Yeah, one of my favorites. I like that shit. I definitely like that joint. I really like that joint. It's nothing but pain. All of these families are feeling the same. Losing their loved ones to all of this violence. Our government doesn't want to make a change. It feels like a game. This shit ain't the same. All of y'all do is just pick at our brains. You give up a little info that conceal the rest and expect us to believe what you say. How is change gonna happen? These pedophiles running around and trash shit. They touch kids, but the judge gets an ass kiss. And you expect us to want to roll with that shit? You know, that you gotta, you know, it's different. It's different. You gotta know it to speak it, you know? They don't know nothing about that. I'm in the field. It's my shit right here. What's going on, Pam? Nice to see you. About to start a new live here in a second.
A lot of people try to come and put a stop to me, but I've been running through these beats, kinda like a Rocky scene. When I take over, they'll probably say it's a robbery. I'm sick of all these actors that lacking, living in mockery. I came up out the jungle, struggle, in and out of the poverty. Training like Miyagi to make it out this economy. My whole life, I've been trying to change. It's been a long time coming, cause I'm sick of the pain. Waking up with no food and no water to bathe. I had to shower at the neighbors for a whole year straight. What you know about looking at your mom in the face, snorting lines of meth instead of paying the rent, now it's late. I used to wake up every morning to a fiend in the house. Then one day, I packed my bags and moved straight out of town. Cause I'm the sergeant with the drills, I stay laying it down. Send them through them cold chills like a draft in your house. Let's go. I'm in the field, I'm a sergeant with the drills. When I get up on the mic, they know I leave a cold chill. I'm like a storm when I spin the windmill. I'ma take off to the top, you try to stop me, yo, that can't be. I'm in the field, I'm a sergeant with the drills. When I get up on the mic, they know I leave a cold chill. I'm like a storm when I spin the windmill. I'ma take off to the top, you try to stop me, you'll get killed. Going through the struggle like I have as a kid is the reason why I get emotional when using my pen. I just wanna make it out and make a life for my kids and get married and just have a family, cause my heart's full of sin. I done did a lot of dirt, robbing grown adults since I was 13, taking stacks of money and disappearing within the streets. Going crazy back in heat, grab a pen, I'm cooking beef. I'm glad I left town, cause if I didn't, it was murder scenes. I was young and very toxic as a little teen, carrying around dope, selling it to a couple fiends. People coming to my window at night, phone ringing off the Richter for a ball of some white. I used to be that hustler, making moves on a bike. If anybody looked wrong, I was ready to fight. Don't get it twisted, cause I changed it, now I'm living my life. I'm the sergeant with the drill, sending chills to the mic, let's go. I'm in the field, I'm a sergeant with the drills. When I get up on the mic, they know I leave a cold chill. I'm like a storm when I spin the windmill. I'ma take off to the top, you try to stop me, yo, that can't be. I'm in the field, I'm a sergeant with the drills. When I get up on the mic, they know I leave a cold chill. I'm like a storm when I spin the windmill. I'ma take off to the top, you try to stop me, you'll get killed. For the top.
That's my shit. I'm in the field. That's my joint right there. Hold up. What are we talking about? That's a banger too.
If I'm gonna get it done, I'ma do it myself. I don't trust no one, I don't need your help. Where were you when I reached out for you? I needed you and you left me by myself. So if I'm gonna get it done, I'ma do it myself. I don't really give a fuck if you're with me now. Where were you when I reached out for you? I needed you and you left me by myself.
I was always left alone, sitting in my home, going through depression while I'm crafting all these poems. My mom was doing dope, that's all I ever known. But I let that pain go away, I'm here to take the throne. Got Rev gang behind me, I give a voice to the streets. Let the people speak, love and light is what I preach. Got these negative people who try to put stains on my fleece, but I never give up and stay focused on my peace. Reaching to be the better me, to succeed. I cover stories every day that could drop a horse to his knees. I've came to realize we really need change, and if I gotta do it myself, I'll bring a parade.
If I'm gonna get it done, I'ma do it myself. I don't trust no one, I don't need your help. Where were you when I reached out for you? I needed you and you left me by myself. So if I'm gonna get it done, I'ma do it myself. I don't really give a fuck if you're with me now. Where were you when I reached out for you? I needed you and you left me by myself.
I'm speaking to the government, we really need some change. I used to be that child that was living through the pain. Got raped by a monster when y'all barely did a thing. I'm speaking out for me and all the others feeling pain. When I speak it's with my chest, this ain't no motherfucking game. I'm sick of y'all giving every one of them a name. I hear stories like mine and it makes me wanna rage. How can we turn the page when y'all haven't done a thing? We give the ass a deal, then they're back on the game. We can't fix these sick pricks, but you free them every day. So I'ma build my platform up, step by step. You can't ignore all the signs, just take a look at the depths.
If I'm gonna get it done, I'ma do it myself. I don't trust no one, I don't need your help. Where were you when I reached out for you? I needed you and you left me by myself. So if I'm gonna get it done, I'ma do it myself. I don't really give a fuck if you're with me now. Where were you when I reached out for
us about what we're going through. They don't want to hear the pain. They don't want to stop these people. They want to keep giving them deals and letting them come back out into society and ruin more lives. And we're getting sick of this shit. We had enough. Man, they're gonna kill more people. I'm speaking for the voiceless. We need better laws and better purpose. I know a lot of families out in these streets, they are really hurting. They don't know where to go, know where to start. A lot of these families get left in the dark. No answers, no leads. They get pushed to the side just like they were from the start. I'm here to make a change. I'm at it every day. I'm far from perfect, but I refuse to stay the same. I'm here to grow with my people and rise above. I put all my faith in God. The change is gonna come.
Get it done, I'ma do it myself. I don't trust no one. I don't need your help. Where were you when I reached out for you? I needed you and you left me by myself. So if I'm gonna get it done, I'ma do it myself. I don't really give a fuck if you're with me now. Where were you when I reached out for you? I needed you and you left me by myself.
I refuse to stay the same. They get mad when you don't want to stay the same person. You know what I mean? Fuck them. Fuck them. If that's you, fuck them. That's how I feel about it. I said, I'm far from perfect, but I refuse to stay the same. Because that's the truth. Fuck staying the same. Change. Wake up. You got to wake up and change. Change the bad habits that you have. Work on those bad habits. You may not be able to fix it in one day, but I promise you'll be able to fix it at some point if you keep training your mind. Let's get past, I need to get past this. I need to get past that. Make sure you focus on one goal at a time. Don't try to, complete too many.
Bang. Shots fired. Pain.
I just set up.
Is what you desire. The pen is mightier than the sword. Then how do we get here, my God? My God.
That's one part.
So you wanna start a war? My God. So you wanna start a war? My God.
I'm ready for war. I think I said it before. I'm coming to settle the score. Weapons galore. My pen is better than yours. I'm leaving you dead on the floor. Off with your head. You keep your necklace on. They ain't respecting the sport. Look at my eyes. Red, 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 red. That's when the devil was born. And stay in your
went off on this.
You mentioned my name, you know that you made a mistake. Cause if we got beef, I'm lifting that 40 cal, nigga. That's how I'm raising the stakes. And the steps of the play. If you hungry, nigga, eat. We ain't homies in the street. A bunch of computer geeks, they be tough behind the Dell until they rolling in the deep. Now put them to sleep. Lullaby. Smoking that weed, got them hella high. Nigga, I can tell when you tell a lie. Beat a nigga ass, make it televised. Get offended, you the enemy. Independent or the industry. With the pen, I'm making history. Finish sentence with a simile. Like, you ain't even nice and I don't even like you, dog. The Michael Vick or the microphone. I just wanna fight you, dog. And I'm coming to start a war. Homie, this is the art of war. And I would never tell a man suck my dick. That's what your daughter for, the bear.
Wartime, we gon' send in the troops. Laced up with my men in the boots. Letting them shoot, 10 of them loose. Fend for your crew, put up through the bed with the two. Hit the top and I plant the flag in your turf. Hit the block and I'm back to back with more work. Back to back to back to back. You know Merc, clap the gat to crack your cat for homework. Give him a rhyme. Soon as Goofy get up a time, shit on the dime. You know that I've been on the line, front and center. Ain't no way a punk can enter. Stuff the blender, mix it up and chug the lemons. Drink the problem till I'm spitting out a solution. Lot of confusion. Know these niggas not in my movement, not in my union. Nigga, we cut from something different. I stuff the blunt once and puff through some risen. And I bang at you, sergeant. You see, I told him not to fuck with a thug. I need a bucket of blood so I can paint your apartment. And all red, then I faint to the darkness. Aim for the target. Bullseye, hit a bullseye, get a full ride. Pull five, let the wool slide on the fool's eyes. Couldn't see me coming the deep and shallow, I will die. Better let the vest protect her, let it still fly. Pin and tell her. I make a motherfucking vanish from reaping all of the damage. I know you niggas be talking, but I'm never telling. I'm masked up, say I end up either dead or felon. Instead I'm belling the money, riches, and better selling. I hit the coast of Colombia, get the paraselling. With a pure padico for the people. Crack your head like this, so 4 minutes to society, the new Oprah.
I've been on a mission, I murdered the competition. You ain't never been a beast, motherfucker, you live in fiction. If you wanna start a war, then I'm bringing you to the division. It be different for anyone for the different. I be going crazy. Who are you to try to tell me that I'm lazy? I mash rappers up and double like the gravy. Wanna battle, motherfuckers better pay me. Rock a rabbit back to sleep like a baby. Knock your old ass back into the 80s. In your hood, I've been cold like the AC. Toss it up and I'ma sword like a maybe. Any YouTube member that comes into my vicinity is gonna get a lesson like I was teaching you chemistry. Metaphors and similes, I'm bringing you my energy. I put 6 lines to his head, fucking sympathy. I ain't gotta snitch just to get a little clout. What the fuck did you really think that it was about? If you really got beef, I'ma catch you on a route like Ray Lewis, homie, I'ma leave you on the ground. This shit is a circus, you move with no purpose. You claim you're the best, but you really are worthless. You shit on these rappers while claiming you're working, but never do dirt, always hiding by curtains. See, you be claiming you a gangster, till the real one run, never shank you. You should've never started a war if you never wanted danger. 357 and you speak in my language. Get one of my youngest to run up and bang you. Life on the hook like a coat from a hanger. If you're from the streets, don't pretend to be a gangster, cause now when they see you, they really are gonna
Bang. Shots fired. Pain.
Looking on that 357 that you speak in my language. You are welcome. We are starting up this next live here, the second one. I just had to make sure my first headquarters here is set up, which we're good. Hopefully it don't lag too crazy, but we'll see how it comes out. 357 that gets.
Oh, brother,
this guy stinks. Oh, brother, this guy stinks. 357 that you speak in my language.
I always stay revved up.
Man, this is old. It's never dropped before ever.
What's up? There ain't no turning down.
I made this 2021.
People take shots at me. Yeah, never get touched. What? They know I stay in my lane. Fuck right off someone else's name. I got enough thoughts in my mind that I can lend you pain. Like Saddam Hussein. All you do is hang. Then you claim you bang, but you ain't touched a thing. I'm about my people. All you do is stay involved with the evil. If Rev Gang says eat them, then it's gotta be them. If you can't beat them, then join them, cause you will never see the lights, camera, action, and a legacy. I'm ahead of these weak artists that'll never be nothing, cause they don't invest in their craft, so they never could be anything special, but still try to rap. Give it up so we can eat you just a fucking snack. I just relax and recite my rhymes. I got a lot of copycats trying to copy the grind, but I'ma do it my way. When I strike with minds, I got a lot of personalities with flows combined. People try to pick me apart like I'm weak, but I was listening to your songs like last week, but I couldn't help myself. The shit made me fall asleep. The definition of your music is it's time to sleep. Claim you been the best, but you really haven't. Always talking real hard till the real one slaps you. Then you'll go on and cry to the cops, cause 6ix9ine's been a snitch and everyone gave him props. Shout out to Hunter Koofy, shout out to fucking Merkums. When I hit him with the blitz, I'm gonna really fucking hurt him. You got no life in it shows, I'm about to straight up explode. Fuck a job, I make music, I'ma turn it into gold. My brother Koofy said hustle till the wheels off, handing out beatings on this hustle that I build, y'all. I ain't Donald Trump. I'm not gonna build a wall, cause I'm breaking every barrier that gets involved. I was known to be me, and it never changed. I was always in these streets, going through the fucking pain. If I ever make it, you will never have to say T-REV, show me love. I will be here every day until I'm dead.
That was my joint back in the day. I made that 2020. That's old. Oh, it's old doo-doo. See the difference between old and new? The difference between old and new is, well, this is old too, actually. I lied. Where's new? Damn. All right, I'm about to send this over, set that up, and we are going to launch. Damn, this is old too. Appreciate you, Deck. I appreciate you, my friend. I almost missed that.
We be repping up, you ain't really with the shits. Got the game coming deep, smoke coming out the whip. Bluntly, eyes low, feel like you're falling over cliffs. City boy, country roads, tires spinning while I drip. I'm a city boy, I've been playing in the sticks. Turning up is what I do, I keep this motherfucker lit. Grab a beer, play some music, start a fire in the pit. There ain't nothing you can tell me, cause I came to run this shit. Let's get that fire. fire in the pit, I roll a blunt up in this bitch. Pass me a beer cause I'm about to take a sip. Crack that top, we about to get lit. When I hit the back roads, wheels spinning on the whip. Gonna turn the heat up when I'm playing in the sticks. Throw a party turned up, rap game cause of quick. I'm riding to the creek with a squad that is ready for the action like a motherfucking pool on the pit. Chillin' with the bloods, living life in the lights. If you roll a blunt, don't roll it too tight. If you stay fucked up, always ready for a fight. But keep to ourselves, stay drinking to the night. This is what I do, I stay living out my life. And I write what I feel to record what I write. I keep myself hungry, turning up on the mic. I came to run this shit, got a problem, let's fight. We be revving up, you ain't really with the shit. Got the game coming deep, smoke coming out the whip. Bluntly, high slow, feel like you're falling off the cliff. City boy, country roads, tire spinning while I drip. I'm a city boy, I've been playing in the sticks. Turning up is what I do, I keep this motherfucker lit. Grab a beer, play some music, start a fire in the pit. There ain't nothing you can tell me cause I came to run this shit, let's go. You know I came to run it, face looking funny, eyes all red like I'm cutting up an onion. If you wanna come to the party, bring beer, rips, not stay home if you ain't pitching in the money. We ain't playing no games or running up on the lane, I be turning the fuck up, back roads in the race. I'm gonna take off quick and I ain't pumping no brakes. I'll leave this tire smoke behind me, make you crash in the lake. Back to the spot, hit the bomb till you drop, pass around the blunt, take a couple shots. Sit by the fire, throw wood, get it hot, cook chicken, grill dogs till your body says stop. Wake up in the morning, everybody dips out. This is how you do it when you're living in the South. When we get together, homie, we be turning up loud. If you need a ride home, I'll take you to your house. We be repping up, you ain't really with the shits. Got the game coming deep, smoke coming out the whip. Bluntly, eyes slow, feel like you're falling off a cliff. City boy, country roads, tire spinning while I drip. I'm a city boy, I've been playing in the sticks. Turning up is what I do, I keep this motherfucker lit. Grab a beer, play some music, start a fire in the pit. There ain't nothing you can tell me cause I came to run this shit, let's go.
No. That's old. All right. The live is, well, it's up, but it's not public yet. So 1 second. What am I trying to hear while I'm waiting and setting up?
I'm always revved up, I'm never turning down. I smoke a blunt to the face to calm my nerves down. I'm reaching up, got my head right above the clouds. I can feel the calm before the storm, there is no tapping now. I'm always revved up, I'm never turning down. I smoke a blunt to the face to calm my nerves down. I'm reaching up, got my head right above the clouds. I can feel the calm before the storm, there is no tapping now. There is no tapping now, that's not what I'm about. I'm down to ride, always high, head above the clouds. I'm on my grind, try to stop me, I'ma knock you out. Praised in the streets, little boys, you are not allowed. Claiming you're the best, now I'm coming for your neck. I came out the pussy with the mic as a vet. I've been on the grind, they see me as a threat. I ain't here to sign deals and run off with a check. I just got a lot of passion and a heart in my chest. I love making music, when I do it, it's the best. I've been working non-stop, serving beats like a chef. I'm here to take over, separate me from the rest. Cause I see a lot of separation from people that wanna go and help, but they never go and do it. They claim they really about that life like 6ix9ine, but in court look foolish. I've been all around the block, streets flooded with the cops, doing time in a cell life, looking at the box with my mind on my dreams, now reaching for the top. If they say that I can't, I prove them wrong on the spot. I'm always revved up, I'm never turning down. I smoke a blunt to the face to calm my nerves down. I'm reaching up, got my head right above the clouds. I can feel the calm before the storm, there is no tapping now. I'm always revved up, I'm never turning down. I smoke a blunt to the face to calm my nerves down. I'm reaching up, got my head right above the clouds. I can feel the calm before the storm, there is no tapping now. They got you tapping out, what's all that rap about? You got bars, but your music ain't a cap and gown. You try to make a song, your hooks lack the sound. The fact you think you're good has got me laughing out. Step hand to the belly of the beast, you're all food on my table and I'm ready for the feast. Stomping on the field like an old Pericles, you better hang it up now cause I got you by your feet. Walk you like a dog cause I got you by the leash. Labels got you on the paper, signing deals like a lease. But you do what they say and you say what they preach. If that's being real, I'd rather hang from a tree. People don't know the term of being real. They'll be anyone just to go and make a meal. They act all hard to the gangsters in the grill and they hit it, him a cock on the spot, you get killed. Little sucker, you don't want that beef. Claim you got hands till I catch you in the streets. Run up on a pussy like a steak, you get beat. I've been about that life, different gangster to the peeps. I'm with it, motherfucker. I'm always revved up, I'm never turning down. I smoke a blunt to the face to calm my nerves down. I'm reaching up, got my head right above the clouds. I can feel the calm before the storm, there is no tapping now. I'm always revved up, I'm never turning down. I smoke a blunt to the face to calm my nerves down. I'm reaching up, got my head right above the clouds. I can feel the calm before the storm. down, there is no tapping now.
There is no tapping now. There is no tapping now.
That's my joint right there, by the way. Appreciate you, Loop. Or should I say Donna? Hold up. Thank you, Full Deck. I appreciate you guys, Loop. All right, I'm about to be live on the other channel here in like probably in the next couple minutes because I got it set up right here. I'm just trying to add everything in here. So live manhunt. There's a manhunt going on. And let me download this thumbnail real quick so we can get that over there. There she is. We're about there. Lo, I still see you said Generous can't type tonight. It's all good. Dirty Fudge. I can't see myself because I'm like, I got this set up here with this screen that I'm going to use here. So I'll have two different screens. We'll be able to get the scanner running, possibly take some phone calls. It depends. And I keep grabbing the wrong mouse, which is not helping. I'm always right up. I'm never turning down. Hold up. What do we need? Hold on. I need to hear this real quick. Get me hyped up. 1 second. Where's it at? Right here. This is my joint. I gotta play this. Oh shit. What do you mean?
All the sacrifices and the sleepless nights, will they serve me well? Only time will tell. I just keep on praying that I'll find my way if I go through hell. Only time will tell. Only time will tell.
Every day I wake up, I'm here to make a change. Only time will tell, I hope it takes the pain away. I see these families going through it every single day. Another person dead, an article up on the page. But I hold on to hope like a candle in the rain. Got it by the light, trying to break through these heavy chains. In the heart of the night, I'm searching for the flame. Speaking for the silent, in my honor, I'ma pave the lane. In the silent battles, I become the roaring train. Carrying the hopes on this long and when it's a rain. Through the valleys of silence, the dreams I entertain. In the quiet whispers, my purpose remains the same. Let's go.
Sacrifices and the sleepless nights, will they serve me well? Only time will tell. I just keep on praying that I'll find my way if I go through hell. Only time will tell.
Look.
Only time will tell.
We're really feeling like we're living in hell. Just turn on YouTube and start searching and you'll see it yourself. But together we light up the dark, standing strong, playing a part. Heart to heart, we heal, we mend. And this battle will prevail in the end. Voice for the voices we defend. In the silence our words transcend. With every note we send a message, deep truths we blend. And every verse hopes strength from our spirit within. Let's wake up, start the day, I'm back fighting again. Giving a voice to the people who have nothing to give. They come to me, I let them speak and tell it just like it is. I've been sacrificing all my life, I sleep when it is.
All the sacrifices and the sleepless nights, will they serve me well? Only time will tell. I just keep on praying that I'll find my way if I go through hell. Only time will tell. Only time will tell.
Divine spirit of love and light. In this hour of need, guide America right. Shine your grace on every child, every soul. Mend our hearts, make our nation whole.
All the sacrifices and the sleepless nights, will they serve me well? Only time will tell. I just keep on praying that I'll find my way if I go through hell. Only time will tell. Only time will tell.
Yeah. Only time will tell. That's my shit. All right. We're almost there. You should see it in 1 second. You should see it in 1 second. Yeah.
Yeah. Move out the way, cause I can't take them home. Getting tired of always thinking what I'm doing ain't relatable. And I'm afraid to choose which way to go. Cause when you're looking over and you see we all wanna chase the highs. Cause some of us trying to escape the lows. Not all of us know what it takes to fight. But some of us know how to take control. It's how it feels to deal with the highs and lows. Some of y'all ain't had to struggle and it show. Must be nice. What isn't nice is you judging other folk. And some of y'all like to hate on folks who hustle for their goals. Don't like to see nobody celebrating public cause you broke, boo. If I'm insensitive, I know you are, but what am I? The truth begins to get so cold, we tell each other lies. If there's a limit to how much you stand on business cause opinions got you in a chokehold, then I'm cutting ties. Better watch the type of person you become. Get around some decent people who'll encourage you or something. Stop pretending other people be disturbing you or something. Cause other people living their life ain't hurting you ain't nothing for real. I'm real big on love and respect, I'm cut different. This dream come from blood, tears, and sweat, you must listen. I'm giving tips on what to expect. The real know it ain't luck when you blessed. I'm talking, Move out the way cause I can't take them home. Getting tired of always thinking what I'm doing ain't relatable. And I'm afraid to choose which way to go. Cause when you're looking over and you see we all wanna chase the highs. Cause some of us trying to escape the lows. Not all of us know what it takes to fight. But some of us know how to take control. It's how it feels to deal with the highs and lows. Some of y'all got too much pride to ask for help. You help everybody else but yourself. Some of y'all just like to take advantage of someone at every step. If you keep on, ain't no one gonna be left. Hey, but what do I know? It ain't like I never did any wrong. Why you think I'm always singing these songs?
That's a banger. All right, here we go. I'm about to take it out right now. I'm gonna end this, right? Well, no, I was gonna say I'll end this, but then you know what? It's live. The other stream is live. You want to go over there? It's about to be live in a second. I mean, you should be able to see it right now. Right now, you should see it. I'll see you over there in 1 second.